I'm Shane.
I'm Bo.
We are your Kentucky Fried Critics.
Welcome back, everybody.
Episode 48.
48.
I remembered this time.
Yeah, we're doing good this time. Got two more.
And then we're on to our special.
Into our 50th special episode.
That's right.
Viewer's choice.
However you want to put it.
Yeah, however fuck you want to put that shit together.
Big announcement now. Yeah, so people will be hearing this and already know, but I'll make the actual audio announcement.
Yeah, the official
on
episode announcement.
We are just going to be doing Galaxy Quest. We decided that one is very challenging, actually.
To find something to go
Bo
with the
has
drink.
been wanting to do this since the beginning.
Day one. This was one of the first ones I suggested.
And we both have struggled to find things that weren't obscenely far-stretched.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
I'm so excited.
We feel confident. Don't worry if you voted for any of the other ones.
We'll probably do them anyway.
And we feel confident that we can.
Yeah.
Like some of those are just ones that we enjoy, not necessarily ones we thought we would have a challenge with. I know I told you that's what I was shooting for. And some of them might be kind of challenging, as in we actually have to actively look.
Yeah.
But not like challenge. I mean, like we both have already thought of several types of names that could fit for some of the other ones of things that we have seen already. Like not exactly, but you know, like we've seen beers with this type of stuff, and the movie has those types of things. So
hopefully you liked and shared the announcement
by now. Yeah. Well, because so many of you voted for it.
Right?
I would like to think
you're just as excited as I am.
Yeah. All right. I think we're far enough. We made that announcement. We need to just get these socials. We'll hit the one that we always start with. That's our Meta 3.
The Meta 3. I like that.
So that's Instagram, Facebook, Threads. Threads has been auto posting for me now.
Nice.
Again, the main problem being that I am very wordy when I post the episode. So I can make, it's got something about the movie and something about the beer and blah, blah, blah. Way too many letters. Character counts.
Oh,
which is letters. It's letters.
Too many
they count
letters.
Spacing. Yeah.
They count spacing?
Yeah, because it's a character.
That's
anything.
Dumb.
So like every underscore, whatever, a hyphen, all of it counts.
That's crap.
And so that's what I mean. It's never within the limit. So we do have more posts there now. I can't guarantee if it's any kind of coherency.
It just cuts off mid-sentence.
Well, no, they won't even post them.
Oh.
If it's too long, they don't get posted at all. So that's what I'm saying. I don't know if there's any kind of coherency to our posts there. Because it could just happen randomly off. Like, you might be like, I didn't know that movie was coming. When did they make an announcement? You're like, I don't know.
Surprise.
It doesn't tell me when they're not posted. I just know that if they're within the bounds, they get posted.
Okay, so there's still some issues with Threads.
And I just need to be somebody who looks at it
instead
of just being like, I know they go there now.
Right.
But so to find us on those three, that's Kentucky Fried Critics, all under all lowercase, no special characters, none of those characters.
No characters.
No spacing, no hyphens.
That shouldn't be a character. That's weird. Space shouldn't be a character. It's space. It's the absence of stuff.
I understand, but 0 is as well, and that still has to be counted.
We're getting too far into metaphysical shit, and my brain's gonna hurt. Continue.
We're good anyway. That's everything there. Like I said, it's an @ or a / depending on which one you're using.
Yeah.
If some of them use @ some of them use /. I'm sure you can figure it out.
Some of them do it automatically.
If you go to search, you don't need to use that at all. If you're already in the app, you don't need that. It will just find us.
I wonder if you just put KFC at this point, if we'd pop up.
No, not at all. Because I don't hashtag it that way. If I start hashtagging it that way, maybe
get some heat.
But I don't want to because it could. Yeah. Right now we're not. Even though we do sometimes say it to ourselves, right?
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, it is not actually hashtag that way anywhere. So we're not officially
ripping anybody off.
Yeah. We're not.
We're completely different.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We're our own
legally
KFC.
distinct.
We're our own KFC.
Illegally indistinct, right?
It's an audio said only KFC. As far as written goes, we don't use that.
Yeah.
Fans, listen to us. When leaving us messages, don't do it that way.
Ridicks.
Yeah. If
There
anything.
you go.
If anything.
Yeah.
Critics, I'll even if you want to
even though that's we're kind of half-assed.
Yeah, we're not. Well, but I mean, capital C critics again, because they're using it as in it's our name.
Our name, yeah.
Yeah,
not as a title.
Yeah, an identifier, not a job. Yeah. Like we're not saying that's what we are. That was just our name.
Kentucky Fried Reviewer sounded stupid.
Definitely didn't hit the KFC.
No, really didn't.
The next one though to talk about is YouTube, as I've already hinted at. We do have fans there. They are listening. We are growing. We're really getting it. We're almost at I think our 600 hour mark.
Nice.
I think we're almost at 110
Hell
subscribers. Still have one video outshining every video.
Up to like 8,000 something.
It's
now.
over. It's like 8.5, I think.
Ooh, come on, 10.
As we've already mentioned, that one is the home to our Riddick Rat. It is our
mascot.
Used to be our least favorite, now our favorite place because
of our mascot.
So again, you can find us there, youtube.com/@KFC Riddicks.
There you go. This is where all the Riddicks hang out. That's what I've declared the fan base, the Riddicks. We are all followers of our Lord and Master Riddick Rat. Oh no, I've started starting another cult,
which is a good segue to our next one. If you've been a long time fan, you know Bo at one time
I have a problem with cults.
At one time he was just a member, and now he's trying to start.
I'm trying to take what I learned from the last one, start my own. It's very lucrative. They got a lot of money out of me. That hyphen cult.
His last cult being the cult of the hyphen, and it comes from this. Our website, the people that host us at Acast provide for us. It's going to be shows.acast.com/Kentucky-Fried-Critics.
There you go. It's where everything is, right?
Yeah, it's where you can find all of the things to try to get a hold of us. So the places I've already mentioned, things I will mention
in the future. It's the past, the present, the now, the forever.
It is just the place if you need to get a hold of us, you can.
I was trying to be all metaphysical.
I know. I'm trying to keep you from sounding like the guy who's trying to take them to the cult again.
Glory and damnation unto you who do not come follow me.
You already tried to sell them on the last one. We took you away from this cult. We don't need you to make it sound that beautiful.
All right, I'll calm down.
Don't need them to be tempted into the ways of the hyphen like that.
I don't know if it gets us more subscribers.
Don't give in to the hyphen church. Don't give in to the hyphen church.
Brainwashing powers.
All right, that was for some old school fans. They will
those
laugh.
Who've been listening from the beginning.
If you're new here, we're sorry. We actually don't do. If this is your
I'm
first
not a cult
episode,
leader, I promise.
Well, and if this is your first episode, we don't really run with that joke hard anymore. But if you decide to listen to the old stuff, you'll hear a lot of that.
I was on a roll there. I couldn't stop. Kept coming up with more and more material.
It's fun. I loved it. I still love it. We just have kind of gotten to where we know now that we end up riffing on like before we didn't riff on the movie as much as we do now.
Yeah.
Right. Now we've gotten to where we really do that, and so it's like we've gotten to where we're like maybe we don't need to waste as much time having fun before we start talking about the movie. We'll use that as a good segue point off of the website and hit our email address, which you can find at the website. It is our suggestion box. It's where you can leave notes and messages and
art.
Yeah, anything you want for us.
Cool drinks, movies,
suggestions
we haven't seen.
That's going to be KentuckyFriedCritics@gmail.com.
Woohoo!
All right, we're officially done.
Yeah.
So before we can go anywhere else, we already mentioned to you last time, we're drinking something a little bit different this time.
Yeah, we're doing our first cider.
That's right. And so you want to go ahead and hit them with who made this, what it is?
We got Country Boy Brewing's Gold Medal Apple Pie Cider.
Apple pie cider.
Apple pie.
It definitely, you can't smell it. I honestly opened it and I was almost disappointed before tasting it, right? Like I was like... Right. You see apple pie, you expect cinnamon. I want some cinnamon.
Yeah.
I want some clove.
Right.
Or
a little ginger maybe.
Yeah, something. I want something. You can't smell it.
You can't smell it. I was like, well,
it smells like straight regular cider.
Yeah, regular cider. You pour it out though.
It's dark.
Super dark.
Which was promising. I was like, it's definitely gotta have some kind of full flavor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Man, you take that sip though. That first sip.
Little subtle hint of cinnamon and the apple.
And there's a crustiness to it. Not like that's a bad word.
Crusty.
Yeah. But like pie crust.
Like
there's
pie
like
crust.
A pie crusty flavor.
Buttery, flaky, crusty.
There's
flavor.
bready.
I don't know how they did it.
Yeah. Again, it's not bready. I don't want you to think like
there's just chunks of crust floating in it,
and it doesn't taste
strain it.
And
first.
It doesn't taste thick like you might think something that has like some kind of like hint of pastry might, but it definitely has this air of pastryness,
right?
To the apple.
I don't know how they did that.
It is Good. We'll tell you what we think about the full effect a little bit later. But yeah, it's definitely for the first cider we're going with. I feel like we picked a good one.
I feel like we need to be careful. How many of these we got?
Luckily, they don't come in a. They only come in a 4-pack. So
Okay.
we only have 2 each.
Thank God. If this was a 12-pack, we'd die.
Oh, it'd be done. Obviously, we had to go somewhere with American Pie,
Right?
and so apple pie got us there the best way ever.
Right? Because it's like the most iconic scene in the entire movie.
Yeah, American Pie is just one of those movies where
It's on the cover, the pie.
Yeah, well,
right?
We had to do this because if you're a millennial, I mean,
Oh, this was the movie. This was the raunchy,
this was the
dirty
thing. This was the
movie
thing
that our
you-
parents didn't
you
want us
fought
to
your
watch.
parents.
Yeah.
Some people.
It's not that bad. And then they see 5 minutes of it and they're like, turn it off.
And I gotta say, like if you would have asked me at again, this is 1999. This is 25 years ago. Not to make everybody feel old, but it just has to be said. So 25 years ago, I was 14. I was literally probably, let's see, 99. I might have just turned 15. But depending on what part of 99, right? Like I didn't look at what month it released. It all depends for me. So I was 14 or 15. I was a sophomore in high school. And so this is the kind of movie that, this was a R-rated movie. This was not the kind of thing that I could have gone to
just
see by
walked
myself.
in to go see. I didn't get to go.
This is no secret. We've mentioned this before. We live in Eastern Kentucky. This is a small town.
Right.
And I will say we had one
theater.
one screen.
One screen.
And
granted, it was a giant screen.
Yeah, no, it was one of the old school, real, full size.
Yeah, it was
screens.
nice.
Yeah, but yeah, this was one of those things. Though, being in a small town, they took something like this, especially that they knew all of the high school kids were going to want to see.
Yep.
Being R-rated, it was a big deal. They made sure this was, and again, this is one of those things. This is the glory to being in a small town. If this would have been a city that never would have worked this way, I just probably would have flat out not got to see it because my parents would have went nowhere near the theater, even though they didn't really care that I was going to see it. Right?
Yeah.
But they still wouldn't have been there with me. So you're in a city.
Yeah.
That means you're not going, right? Like unless somebody else is going to show up with you to say no, I'm buying the ticket. It's definitely okay. We live in a small town. There was a line at the door of everybody under 18 calling their parents for their parents to say,
no,
cool. It's okay.
That early cell phone, the little Nokia and shit. So they'd be like, Mom, he won't buy me a ticket. Tell him it's cool.
We lucked out. I think we had a friend that was 18, and so they just came with us, so we didn't have to worry about it.
Nice.
But yeah, so we didn't have that challenge. It was a funny thing to see going in. It was totally small town funniness.
Like,
you know what I mean?
13, 14 people outside just out there trying to call their parents.
Oh, yeah. And more than that, I remember, this was one of those movies where opening night, it
went down the street?
Out. Yeah. It was kind of crazy.
Like Liar,
one of the
did.
first times that I seen that here. Definitely, because I was just like, "What the?" It's a vivid, burned-in memory for me.
Small town.
Yeah,
we're all going to the movie theater Saturday night, especially for this movie.
Especially for this movie, yeah. And it being so funny and comical to see that happening, knowing that is a strictly here phenomenon. You're not gonna be in a city and then being like, "Oh, it's okay, just call your parent."
Right.
That I don't know.
At best, they're just gonna walk to a different theater and try their luck there.
You're just gonna. Well, if you're in a city, you're also at a place where there's more than one. Again, we're at one screen. You can't sneak into this. You can't go to another movie and sneak. Like if you're at a multiplex, you just buy a ticket for the G-rated movie
and then sneak
into the other theater.
We couldn't do that.
There was one screen. So this was 100% for us a thing. Like if you didn't know someone or your parents didn't sign off on it, you 100% in this town didn't see this until it came out later.
Me.
Well, you were also younger. I was like
11.
And at 11, my parents probably would have been like, I don't really want you to see this. I was in high school and it was technically a movie about high school. So they were like, it's kind of dumb to...
I assume you're doing this exact same shit anyway.
Well, they didn't assume I was yet at 14, but they were like, it's definitely close enough to your...
You're going to start.
You're going to be this age very
Next
soon.
year.
Yeah. So it was just kind of like there's no real reason to split hairs about it like that. But this movie, I love it so much watching it. I don't know about you, but just it made me feel like
Yeah,
99 again.
yeah.
So much so, you guys will see in pictures. I'll make sure
Yeah.
that you guys can see this. But just to feel in the right vibes of this, Bo's already seen this.
He's rocking it, dude. He's got the full outfit.
I'm feeling very 90s inspired. You know, I seen a couple of people in the background. None of our main characters really wore what I'm wearing, the big baggy.
I'll just say you're basically wearing Shermanator's pants.
I don't want to call that one though. Like I've got things to say about that guy. He gave a lot of people like me a bad name because
Yeah.
he was like that. I hate Shermanator. It's kind of why I wanted to do this. It was like a double thing where it was like I felt very nostalgic, but I also feel very defiant about him, and I want to set the record
This is
straight.
how you do it, motherfucker.
I want to set the record straight, right? Like that's you don't need to think we were all like that guy.
Yeah.
But yes, I am wearing my Jinkos. I'm wearing some giant baggy jeans.
Huge
I'm wearing,
baggy pants.
Also a shirt, very cool blue snakeskin thing,
Right.
velvety feel.
Yeah, 'cause
you know, like
we
they
were
like
cool,
all those
man.
shirts back in the day. This
Had that-
polyester. This thing is hot.
Hot as fuck. It's like
So-
wearing saran wrap, but we were cool.
Had to wear these things. So yeah, you guys know the kind of thing we're talking about here.
Late
It just-
90s, early 2000s, man.
This-
You just
and-
need a bucket hat.
Well, it's the vibe that everything in this movie gives you too, right? Like I mean,
Yeah.
we've
the
got
music,
well,
all of
the
it, man.
music. We've got a lot of jokes that are just not okay today.
Yeah, no.
That were okay at that time. We've got a lot of. I mean, like
This entire movie is
this
almost
entire
not
movie
okay
is a
now.
time capsule of what was at the time. Not even. You didn't bat an eye
Nope.
at this.
Encouraged even.
Parents definitely were like, well, that's a little crazy for our kid. But then like this was the beginning of that kind of movement of this being a
Right.
comedy style. And so then it quickly became like, oh, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, this one got over, so it let all the other ones start doing like, oh, if they got away with that.
And so it is what it is. I love this movie. I have very fond memories.
This
of
funny
it.
movie. I forgot. It's been a long time since I watched it. I was like, man, I forgot. How
But that
funny. And it
being
just
said,
starts off funny.
But that being said, I was definitely now very aware of how problematic. Again, maybe not by the lens of that time. It's hard to remember, really.
No,
but from today's standard,
I just remember it being like, that's funny.
I knew it was raunchy, but not the kind of raunchy I think of it as today. Like when I
now
watched
it's
it today, I was like, oh
shit, you might go to jail for that now.
yeah, there are a lot of things today that make this a very different type of movie. But at the time, again, there's a reason we all had fondness for it. There's a reason there were 3 sequels, direct sequels. There's
sequels.
technically like 30 direct to DVD.
Oh, are there really?
Yeah, no, because
Jesus.
dude, it started following Stifler's little brother
Oh no,
as a main character.
Is it the same kid? That'd be funny.
No, I don't think so. That'd be insane.
Right, just the same little kid, every one of them.
But yeah, so the franchise kept going. It did not stop.
Wow, it needed to stop after the second one.
We'll get to some points. All right, I think we have said enough about how we feel about the movie, what it means to us, and where we're coming at from this. You guys get it. Like we said, sometimes we do movies that are obscure and we think you don't know. Sometimes they're just like this. It's just a fun movie that we love. We found a drink.
With.
You know, we saw the can. We were like, apple pie.
Ha ha.
I know what I want to do.
Just like warm apple pie.
Sometimes you just got to do something like this.
McDonald's are homemade.
But so we'll go ahead and get into this. Obviously, with a cast like this, we got to start with, like who's in this movie.
Yeah.
Don't worry, guys. No director talk today.
Because he did this.
Well, it's 2 brothers. They did some other things, but I mean, not the things that we're necessarily going to know.
Did they go super artsy after this?
A few of them.
Oh shit! Yeah, I don't need that from these guys. No.
But then the writer, Adam Hertz, I'm only going to mention him for the fact that you need to know this man made his bank on American Pie and then dipped out. He said, "Sweet, okay."
Right.
He wrote 1, 2, and 3. And he was an executive producer and so okay, I gotta make sure. So for those uninitiated, that's American Pie 1 and 2. They're just numbered.
Yeah.
Then American Wedding, that's 3, and then American Reunion, that's 4. So he was involved for the first 3. Reunion, he was just a producer for, but he wrote
still got that
3.
check.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, technically speaking, all the
I
direct
got checks for all the other ones.
yeah,
too,
he gets
didn't
royalties for it being based on his
Way to run a gimmick into the ground and make that money, buddy.
But yeah, so I can't give you other things that
He
you should
didn't
go
have
see.
to do anything else. He didn't have to.
Well, yeah, he made these, and again, they were huge at the time.
Right.
Like, comedy, and it's great. It's a good comedy of error, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's all comedy of errors. Like that's well, not all, but certainly some of the best things in the movies. It's always just like you see like dumb thing happen, just into dumb thing into dumb thing,
Mostly
and just
Jim,
laugh. Well, it's
really.
Jim and his dad. If
Yeah,
Jim and his dad are involved in any way, that's what we get for sure.
Awkward comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The cast, though, since now we're past those two and we don't need to talk about the directors or the writer.
But I want to know who the key grip was.
Oh, I don't ever look at that, man. I have no clue.
No respect for the grips.
I'm not a Foley kind of guy. Sorry. Are you proud of me for that?
Yeah, that was good. Go ahead.
Yeah, we'll get to the people, though. This was like almost like our version of the Brat Pack, right? Like if you think, like again,
they even have the song later in the fucking
like,
movie.
Again, like I'm not saying that any of these people were necessarily like in tons of stuff that we saw, but because they were in this one, it almost gave them that kind of like feel to them, right?
Yeah.
Like you definitely knew all of these people at the time, right? You like, so we've got Jason Biggs playing Jim. They technically when you look back on it, and certainly the other movies in the franchise, they want you to think he's our main character.
He's kind of not.
No, the first movie is 100% an ensemble. No one guy is supposed to be more important than the other. It's supposed to be
it splits between all four.
It just so happens that the funniest things and the thing they named the movie from
was his bit.
Was Jim's stuff. But Jim is, I would not say he's
the main character
by any means.
Well, I mean, movie starts with him, I guess.
Still, I wouldn't really say he's our main
main
character. You got to start with somebody.
By merit of we get to meet his parents and no one else's. That makes him. Yeah, but we meet both of his parents.
We don't know if Stifler's dad's around.
Oh, I like to think that Stifler's mom killed him.
Well, but again, that's why we didn't meet him,
right? Like that's what happened to Stifler's dad.
So, like I said, that's Jason Biggs. Speaking on Stifler, Sean William Scott. This is the thing that, again, this got
him over, right?
Well, this kick started most of these people's career. Very few of the people that I'm going to be naming here were like big. They might have done other things, but they weren't.
Yeah, you didn't know who they were until this one.
Yeah, this is the one that kickstarted all of them. But yeah, Sean William Scott. This being the one, though, out of everybody that I'm going to mention, he certainly started off the strongest after this, right? Like, for a while, like, he was doing movies with The Rock.
Yeah, he did. I love that fucking movie.
The Rundown?
The Rundown? It's a good one.
He's, like, for a while, you definitely thought he was going to be, Dude, Where's My Car? Him and Ashton Kutcher. You thought he was going to be everywhere.
Yeah. Did he just kind of...
He fizzled. Something, I don't know the story.
I don't know what happened to him. He just kind of fucked off.
The one that, like even more so than Jason Biggs, who again, they want you to think is the main character.
Yeah, no, he's the one that did the best out of...
Longevity-wise, maybe.
Male cast member.
Yes, yeah. Longevity-wise, for sure. Like, like he's done something steadily.
Not just these movies.
Well, I don't know if any of them.
What else has Oz fucking been in?
Chris Klein did a whole bunch of movies.
Really?
Too. Yeah.
He is such a bad actor in this movie.
Oh, he's horrible in this movie. But it's the character.
I guess.
You watch Glee, dude. He's literally just Finn. He is
he's literally proto Finn
in every aspect.
And just not as good a singer.
Say It Ain't So or Say It Isn't So. I don't know. I can't remember what the actual name is. But again, it's a comedy and it's about him falling in love with someone that he thinks is his sister, but it ends up not. I can't remember, dude. It's fucking crazy. He's in a lot of really
like romantic comedies.
Well, that's barely. It's off the wall, dude. It's not really like, I know that I said it's about a relationship, but I mean, it's not. I by no means would you class. It's just as off the wall as the brother sister part makes it sound.
No Sleepless in Seattle.
No, it's not that.
Not like that.
It's like American Pie meets rom-com. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is very raunchy kind of humor, and it leans into it.
Missed that one. The voice he does when he's like hitting on chicks, this like, fucking, here's my sexy
Nova. It's his Nova voice.
My phone sex voice.
We'll get there.
Right?
Nova. It's Nova.
Nova. Like Casanova.
Let's see. So, but then to stick with just our guys, make sure we get all of them out of the way. Next is Thomas Ian Nichols, which is Kevin, who again is a guy in the first couple movies. He almost feels more like a main character because he gets a heavier plot line.
Yeah.
and his brother's involvement and stuff in both, like, because in 1 and 2, it's
Yeah,
his
'cause
brother, yeah, is a key
is a
player
key
for
person.
things. Eddie K. Thomas as Finch.
Our fancy friend.
The weird friend, the too dorky for his own good, doesn't realize that he is his own foil,
Yeah.
right? Like he is the reason he gets
picked
he
on.
hates being picked on,
but he does it
is
to
the
himself.
he
He
can't
make it so easy.
like again, like I am well, and I have thick skin. It never bothered me. You guys will see the clothes. I definitely did this in a small town high school.
And I grew up fat, so bring it on.
Same thing with the haircut, like all, like literally the representation you'll get
Right?
from this one will be a very accurate one. Not for not exactly for today, but definitely for what I was like in high school.
Right.
And so, like in a small town, I was certainly the weird one, but I still also knew how to be friends with people. And Finch doesn't have that,
Yeah.
right? Like
no, he's just
he revels.
pretentious.
He revels in it.
Rebels in the I'm smarter than you,
but
I'm,
hates that he gets
I'm
bullied,
fancier than you,
right? And it's like, dude,
how dare you not know my greatness?
Well, it's just one. I hate people like that because I knew people like that. It's like, how can you be so upset?
You've never read Tolstoy?
Well, that's not what bothers me. Is just the fact that it's like him. He hates that he gets bullied and that he's not accepted, but he makes it so hard for anybody to like him. And it's like, I hate people that do that. Like, you can't be the reason nobody likes you and then be like, it's awful that nobody likes me. It's like, no. Make some fucking personal decisions. Do some self-reflection.
Maybe when somebody says, just drink your coffee, don't get all snippy about it being a macchiato or whatever the fuck he does.
Mochaccino.
A mochaccino. Sorry.
I think. I've got it in my notes.
He would have ripped me a new one. It's
He
a
would rip you.
mochaccino. It's not a macchiato. Mochaccino has this. Blah. I was like, what? Just drink your fucking bean water.
Well, exactly. Well, that's to me, like, I'm the kind of guy that, yes, I might have been drinking a latte instead of a coffee or something. But if somebody would have said, if somebody would have looked at me and been like, Shane and his coffee, I would have been like, yep, okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. It's in a coffee cup.
Good enough.
Right?
Good enough. It is coffee.
There's coffee in it. I agree. Right?
And so, like, that is to me Finch's downfall. Is that Finch doesn't know.
He's too far up his own ass to realize
His own fault. Everything. Like, all he has, he doesn't have to not be him. He just has to not be that version of him, right? Like, he doesn't have to, because he's not accomplishing anything, right?
No.
When he corrected them and told them what drink it is,
you're lucky those are your friends and
right?
they just let it go.
It didn't do anything because none of them care.
Yeah.
They're not going to know that name past 30 seconds after you said it to them.
It's
Even
like,
though
whatever,
they're your
man.
friends, they're not going to know that name after you said it to them. So what did it accomplish? So if it doesn't accomplish anything, why not just not do it? Why not just say, yes, it's a cup of coffee? So yeah, this guy is
his own worst fucking enemy.
100%. Luckily,
and very pale and pasty. Needs to go outside more.
He loosens up through the movies, thankfully. I enjoy the character later on.
I like the end result when he turns into like
by
60s suave guy.
But yeah, the
which
beginning,
is like the beginning is just like, yeah, you're just a douche. Shut up.
In the beginning, I 100% would have to agree with Stiffler. He deserves to be knocked down a peg. Not for any particular reason, just because he does. He if you would meet a guy like that, you would think that too. You would be like, this guy just, I don't know how, who, or why, but he needs to be down here. Right. He thinks he's up here for no reason.
He thinks he's great. I'm gonna bring him down. I'm gonna show him that he sucks.
And not in a mean kind of way. Not in like I'm a bully kind of way. Like literally, like he just
gonna get that good rib in. Take you down a notch. He thinks he's
better than the everyman, and it's plenty of people are better than the everyman person, right? But you don't have to be that.
Yeah.
We'll get off of this. Me and Bo could definitely talk about these kind of people.
We hate these people.
Yeah,
I deal with these people a lot.
Well, again, like I almost hate this guy. Like in high school, I would have hated Stiffler more, right? But today, as an adult, I can see how Stiffler, the kind of guy that is really, like, if you get him in a personal setting, maybe somebody I could get along with, right?
Stiffler seems like a dick, but he's actually really loyal.
Yeah, but Finch is the kind of guy I could, in real life, never hang out with.
I would have so many problems with the way you talk to me.
Oh, yeah. Let's move off of them.
Start a rage cult against
now we'll deal
Finch.
with our females in the movie, our women. None of these people, well, two of them are friends, but this is not like our guys. They're not even a loose friend group. These are
not even
unassociated, minus the two. So I'll start with our friends. That's going to be Tara Reid playing Vicky and Natasha Lyonne playing Jessica. First, I want to hit Tara Reid. This needs to be said. Anybody who is a younger millennial or even in the skewing even younger, our youngest fans, right?
Yes.
If you only know her name from later parts of her career, then you probably are thinking in your head, "Oh, I know the kind of character she's playing."
Nope.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
Because this is like her first movie.
Yeah.
And so she is
This
playing,
is like our introduction to her.
She is playing opposite everything you think in your head of Tara Reid. She is playing the
sweet,
girl next door.
Girl next door.
She is playing wholesome. She is playing
right.
This is not the girl who was advertising
This is not the chick
Girls
from
Gone Wild.
Sharknado.
Well,
she Girls Gone Wild.
Used to, again, like in an era where most girls weren't advertising for Girls Gone Wild, Tara Reid was their advertiser.
I remember that.
So, but this is pre that. So don't think that. This, I mean, really, she looks in this movie, she looks the part.
Yeah.
If she doesn't even look like, like I can picture.
Yeah.
I know the mid
slutty bombshell that she turns into later. Now she's just like, oh,
I know that mid
got the little sundresses,
fake tan that she used to rock and shit, with the bad, too thick eye mascara and stuff. Shit. I know the thing that you guys might be thinking.
Not trashy Tara Reid.
This is
classy Tara Reid.
This is classy, exactly.
Yeah.
She is supposed to be that. She's minus one other girl in the movie. She is probably supposed to be the classiest of these girls, right? Because next, like I already mentioned, is her friend Jessica, played by Natasha Lyonne. Again, if you know Natasha Lyonne, you probably have a picture in your head, and this is pre she really fit most of what you might know her from today. Because today you're probably thinking like, was that Russian Doll and Orange is the New Black?
Yeah,
because big crazy puffy orange
still
hair.
Has the hair.
It's not as big.
It's not as bad.
And it's not. It's
bare.
Yeah, no. It's pretty laying kind of.
But
flat.
It's still curly as fuck.
I would say. I guess it's just that today she does it so unkempt. It looks so much crazier. Because at least this is like. It's at least it looks like clean curls, right? Like,
was that Felicity hair?
Yeah. Exactly. That's what I was going to say. Like, if I would have to pick something, and today it's definitely not that.
Yeah, no. Carrot Top.
But and again, I love Natasha Lyonne. But yeah, this is
great.
This is early Natasha Lyonne. Not the earliest. The first thing I ever remember seeing her in was Slums of Beverly Hills. If you've never seen that, dude, you need to see that one. It's like 1998. It's got Alan Arkin in it, and like. He talks about like stabbing somebody with a fork and
goddamn,
there's some crazy shit in it, dude. It's like an independent comedy. It's pretty fucking wild. But yeah, so Natasha Lyonne, again, like I was trying to get at though, not looking or sounding, because this is. Do you know why she kind of has the raspy voice that she has today?
Did she like stabbed in the throat or something? Or
no,
throat surgery?
She did a bunch of drugs, dude, and they had to cut her open from here to here.
Yeah.
And it causes a lot of fluid and pressure, and
that sucks.
Kind of changed. And she also had some kind of weird, like she naturally would have gotten raspier as she got older, but that definitely exacerbated things. But yeah, if she has in Orange is the New Black, there's a scene where you can see like the character
has a huge scar.
It's real. It's her real scar from where she really got cut all the way open.
Addict.
Yeah. Well, and so was she. She's not trying to hide from her past.
No, I mean I wouldn't either.
We all
did dumb shit.
But we live in an era where, especially in Hollywood, most of them people would. So I'm trying to give her props for being the kind of person that isn't. That's all I was.
All those executives can fuck off. They've done far worse.
Getting off of Natasha Lyonne, though, that'll let us go to outside of the friend group. The first one that I'll cover being Mina Suvari, because she's probably more important than the third one. The next one. The next one being the most famous out of all of the girls in the movie, for sure. For very specific reasons. But Mina Suvari being the other one that we see the most, right? Like, I mean, we see her character a lot.
Yeah.
She always looked weird to me. She's the one that plays Heather, the one that Oz goes for.
Has a lot of forehead.
And like buggy eyes. And I'm not talking about you mean. This is things that people have said about her whole career. I'm not the first one to say it. I feel mean saying it. So I want everybody to understand. I'm not going lightly into saying these things about her, but they are descriptors that I feel are apt.
Yeah.
About her. She has her teeth gap is very weird.
Judge you, man.
Right? Like And I don't just mean like between her front two teeth.
Looks
I mean
like
like
she still has her baby teeth.
all of her front 4 teeth, the gapping is weird,
Yeah.
right? Like there's a lot of gap between all of them. And I know people like that. Like, I mean, it is a thing. It is a way some people's teeth develop. She, I'm sure, is in Hollywood now. She's probably gotten them fixed. She probably has veneers. She probably has a straight, flat, white smile. No judgment. If I could afford it, I would do it. As like I was already mentioning before, how Chris Klein is essentially just a proto Finn Hudson. Me and Bo are people that watched Glee. We've seen a lot of it. It is so it's Ryan Murphy. It's the same guy who did American Horror Story. I mean, so the guy writes good stuff. If you like American Horror Story, I'm not saying you're gonna like Glee, but I'm saying like it is the same guy. So you at least understand where we're coming from.
Give Glee a shot. It was it was pretty good. Up to like season 4.
But Chris Klein, I would 100%. The Oz character is Finn Hudson, and so if he is Finn Hudson, if he is our lead jock, singer guy, choir singer, then Mina Suvari is Rachel, right? Heather is Rachel. Yeah. She is
proto
clean cut. Like I said, she's the only one classier than Vicky.
She wears the little sweater things too. Even
like I said, the only one classier than Vicky
is her.
For sure.
Oh, right? Yeah. She doesn't even go to the parties.
Yeah.
Until like the very end.
Yeah. Didn't even care to go.
Yeah.
Unlike some of the other people.
To sing.
Yeah. The next girl, like I said, is the most famous from the movie. Shannon Elizabeth, playing Nadia, our foreign exchange student. In very little of the movie. Again, she is famous for one reason and one reason only. She
gets naked in this movie.
Well, and it is one of those scenes like, it's just like, for millennial guys, this scene is literally the same as to Gen X guys, the Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Oh, where she's coming out of the pool
and
takes
bikini.
The top off.
But yeah, so it is 100% though. Like it's that kind of memorable, right? Like if you were a teenage boy when this movie came out, that is etched
the rest
in your
of the
head.
movie. You just watched this scene.
Well, and you know, like you'll never not know Shannon Elizabeth's name. You'll never not see her in a movie and instantly be like, "That's Shannon Elizabeth."
Yeah,
I know who that is.
I know you. I'll give her this. She does a very good accent. For being
the weird, ambiguously Eastern European we
country
don't get
that she's supposed to be from.
It's okay.
It's fine.
Again, we don't see enough of her to really judge. She probably has like 10 lines,
something like that. So she was trying really hard with her limited role
because she has never felt like degraded for this. Like she thinks it's funny. She does callback things about it all the time.
Doesn't she come back in the second one?
Yep. Good personality. We gotta love Shannon Elizabeth. She did the Kevin Smith movies.
Yeah.
God bless her. Kevin Smith even made jokes about how he's like, she's the biggest, I didn't think she would.
She's not going to do this movie. Yeah. I said to myself as I was writing the part.
Well, he also got Sean William Scott in the same movie though. He's the guy that sings the song.
Yeah. Damn it, could have got Jason Biggs too. Maybe we could have had like a whole fucking Kevin Smith should have done
Biggs
American
is in the
Pie
movie.
Reunion.
He's just not in that part.
Oh, is he?
He's at the end. He's the one who plays Blunt Man in the movie.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's him and the Beaks. But now moving away from those are even counting Nadia, I would say like our main characters because she's definitely heavily involved in a big plot point.
She's not in a lot of scenes. She is mentioned.
But now we'll get to some of the people that are in the movie that aren't important. You know, like some of our smaller people, right? Yeah. And I feel horrible to have to say this next one as one of our smaller people, but she is. And she becomes very important to the franchise.
Yeah.
Right? But
very important.
But just this movie, she's not.
No.
Allison Hannigan. One of my first like huge crushes, dude. Willow on Buffy.
Willow on Buffy. That red hair.
Well, and
she's so cute.
I feel so bad for her because she is hot. And she got played on Buffy to be like
this
the
mousy,
dorky
nerdy
kid,
girl.
And she got played in this to be like the oily, greasy.
Yeah, dude.
Kid.
Like she has like
in the first scene,
did
that very first
best
scene,
to kind of ugly her up as much as they could.
They slowly take it away, right?
Yeah.
Like by the second or third time you see her, they're making her look more normal. That very first time, they literally look like they sprayed olive oil.
I was gonna say they just
on
took
her
cooking
skin.
oil and went right in her face.
Bad. But yeah, Allison Hannigan plays Michelle again. In this movie, she is a nobody. She's
She's
only
our
becomes
band geek.
Yeah, she only becomes important at the end. We all do know her from the
Yes.
movie. We remember she has one big
Very,
line,
very
which
iconic line.
we won't say until the end. Not
It's a
saying
shock
we
line
shouldn't.
for shock value.
Exactly.
So
It was meant for-
literally is there to make Jason Biggs go, what?
And nobody thought that this was going to be like,
Come
like,
out
nobody,
of her.
Well, and nobody filmed this movie thinking that it was going to be the phenomenon that it ended up being either,
Yeah.
right? Like there's no way when she delivered that line, she thought that when she was 40 some years old, she was still going to be dealing with people coming up to her and saying that line that we will mention later. All right, but so we'll move off of her. Again, I love her, and like I said, sorry, I guess we won't move off yet. I guess I got taken away from what I was gonna say. Yeah, she in the later movies she does.
Yeah, she's like main
because of her
character.
end to this, which we'll deal with when we get there. She becomes one of the main people. She is important to all of the rest of the franchise. Just not this one. It is just what it is. Our next character that is important, probably for the franchise, but not so much in this one, is Eugene Levy as Jim's dad. Again, he is totally in this movie just for laughs.
Yeah,
right? Like,
he's just there for that awkward comedy
nothing
that
else.
he does.
In 2, it's a little bit more of that, but by the time you get to 3 and 4, where it's wedding and reunion, and he is a lot more involved because he gets to be both the awkward conversation guy, but also the mentor guy, also the kind of guy like Kevin's brother character guy.
Yeah.
Right? Like, he gets to be the one who gives them
the
this
advice and shit.
That being said, what I wanted to let you know, he's the one who wrote the Bible.
The sex tome Bible
Yeah,
that we get.
that's one of those.
I mean,
things,
he was a sex symbol back in the 70s.
That's one of
man.
those things that if you know more about the longevity of the franchise, if you watch the direct to DVD,
all the fucking spin-offs and shit.
at some point you find out that
Jim's dad wrote the sex Bible.
the sex Bible that they find in the and since I knew that fact going in for this rewatch, I wanted to let everybody else who wanted to join us know that too, because I think it puts
If
a
I
little
have
bit
to
of
know,
a,
you do too.
well, it puts a little bit more fun spin on the whole like seeing Jim's dad's interactions, because he definitely has some really what we just feel like are uncomfortable conversations, but knowing this aspect of him, it's like, well, I mean, I guess to a guy like that,
yeah, he's probably right. You should
he
listen
just
to him.
he just wants to be a teacher too. Like, I mean, he's been trying to do that
been
since
trying
he
to
was
do
young.
it ever since I was a kid. This is how you should deal with
So,
women, guys.
I feel like it helps us see a little bit more. Again, it's not at all the this is not subtext. Well, and it's not subtext that was actually there. This is way after the fact. Somebody else
just thought it was funny by like episode or movie 6.
Yeah, and so by no means did the guy who wrote this have that subtext here.
Planted the seeds in the first scene.
I don't want to even make you guys think that.
If you freeze frame here and circle this number, look in a mirror.
But it is just it does, if you do watch the wider ones, it does kind of let you look at this one through a fun new light. Right?
It's like that's funny.
The next one that we got to mention, I didn't get Jim's mom's name because she's in.
She has like 4 lines,
and almost
her
never
biggest
there.
scene is the beginning of the movie.
Yeah. So I didn't get it because I was like, I don't know.
She did a good job. I bought her as a mom.
But the mom we do want to focus on, Stifler's mom,
Stifler's mom.
Jennifer Coolidge. This is pre-Legally Blonde.
When she started just playing stupid characters.
Yeah, she was still just she was hot, mysterious, rich, elegant in this one.
Right.
Yeah, like she definitely had a different vibe.
Right. Wasn't just like you dumb blonde chick.
She has gone on record in many places as saying that because of this movie, she has had sex with lots of younger men.
Oh, I bet.
Because they all wanted to get with
Stifler's mom
after this movie.
Fuck yeah, dude.
And she took advantage of that. And I say,
yeah.
Way to go, Jennifer Coolidge.
Fuck yeah. Raking them 18-year-old boys. She says in the movie, aged 18 years, just how I like it.
We've already mentioned the next guy once, and I will mention him again because I want to make sure that everybody understands he is horrible. And that is Sherman, the Shermanator.
The Shermanator?
I didn't get his actual first name. They only say it one time.
Paul?
I don't
know.
It doesn't even.
Chuck.
We don't need to tell them.
Dick.
He doesn't deserve. There. If I'm going
Cock Nugget.
Yeah. If I'm going to give you a first name, Dick sounds good.
Dick Sherman.
But he calls himself the Shermanator. He is trash. We don't technically know until the very end that he's trash. It's supposed to be a surprise.
Yeah.
But really, if you know the personality type,
you tell.
Knew immediately that he was full of shit and lying. Yeah, exactly.
I don't know why they believed him.
I don't either. It's awful. And again, I hate the representation. because he is usually
wearing those pants.
He's usually wearing Jinkos, baggy pants. He's usually in these teen movies as this kind of guy that you hate in the same kind of clothes. The only time this guy has ever not been a douchey person was in Angus. You ever seen the movie Angus?
I think so. That sounds familiar.
Big dude. And he's got a little scrawny friend.
Little scrawny friend.
He's the scrawny friend.
Oh, shit.
You just didn't know it because he was 12 at the time and not the Shermanator. That's the only time this kid hasn't been trash in it. Not trash, like really. You know what I mean? His acting is fine.
I'm sure he's a fine person in real life.
They just he got that character
now I'm
type.
going to find out weird shit about him on the internet.
But yeah, he got that character type, and he just always happened to be in my kind of clothes, and so just really pissed me off.
You dress the same way I do. You're making
and
me
you're
look
the wrong.
bad.
Yeah, you're giving people the wrong opinion. That's Chris Owens. Sorry, I did all this. And I don't know if I said his name. Chris Owens. I get so mad immediately that I forgot to say it.
Cock Nugget Sherman over here.
Yeah. The last person I'm going to mention is a blink and you'll miss it. I don't know if you even noticed this. Do you know who MILF guy is? You know who the guy who says
Sulu from Harold and Kumar.
John Cho.
Thank you. I don't know his real name.
So he is Harold from Harold and Kumar and Sulu from Star Trek.
I wrote him in my notes as Sulu Harold. I was like, Sulu Harold likes MILFs.
So I got future White Castle chaser himself as MILF guy number one. He is the guy that introduced us as a generation to
the
this
word MILF.
And it got used everywhere. To the point that now it is literally on sexual video sites as a category. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jesus Christ, it took over.
Thank you so much, John Cho. I salute you and your services to mankind.
Again, we know it's really the writer, but John Cho delivered it. He's the guy we know.
Because the whole, it's just like, she's a MILF.
I swear to God, in the credits.
What's it say? What does that mean? He's like, Mom, I'd like to fuck. And we're all just like 12 years old going, that's the funniest shit ever.
Again, in the credits, literally listed
MILF guy. Beautiful.
I think it lists the numbers because it's him and the other dudes. I think it might even say number 1 and number 2.
Oh, he's got to be one.
Well, his technically has a slash because he's MILF guy, and then later he's in the choir. Yeah, so it says that. It says
MILF guy / choir guy.
Yes, I love it as seeing something in the credits.
And he went on to freaking navigate the Enterprise. Check that out.
Way to go.
And get really high and hang out with Neil Patrick Harris at a White Castle.
Woo. Gotta love that.
I don't know which one sounds more fun.
They both sound pretty fun. Really.
Right?
We need to really just start the
movie.
movie.
Need to actually start the movie.
You guys know me. I gotta start with how the movie opens, the music that we get. This music is funky, sweet bass riff, dude.
It's fucking some sweet porn music, man.
Well, you don't know immediately. At first, you're just kind of like, sweet. This is some sweet 70s funk or something, right? You're like, oh. And then all of a sudden, you start hearing, and then more terrifyingly, you start to see that this is clearly a teenage guy's room.
Yep, trying to watch him some scrambled porn.
You know it's porn. And then
kids now don't know.
Yeah, like I love how long it takes us to get to see the TV to know that it's scrambled. Like, right? Like you're just hearing it and you're like, oh, he's just watching some porn.
Yeah.
And then they cut to the screen and you're like
he's trying to get one of those channels in.
And
that's a tit. Yeah. I see a tit.
Kids today don't understand. This was a struggle.
They could just pull their phone up, man. Back in the day, finding naked women back in the day was hard.
Yeah, you had to do stuff like this.
You had to go do shit like this.
Brave of him to do that in the middle of the day.
Right?
That's a middle of the night kind of activity. A, because that's when you're gonna find it. And B, because people aren't awake. But I mean, I'm surprised he found... Me and we were alive at the time. Anybody our age listening,
TV with the dials.
They understand this. You weren't going to see a scrambled, like, full porn channel. You were going to find a scrambled, wavy version of HBO.
Yeah.
Right? So the titties weren't on it until nighttime.
Yep.
You weren't seeing, like, this wasn't the Playboy channel. There weren't titties bouncing in the middle of the day. That was 100% on a satellite.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was like, you ain't getting that.
There was no wavy signal. You either had it or you didn't. And so, like, cable, which is where this existed from.
Sometimes
you could get a wavy signal.
The wave would come
But that
through.
means that it was going to be family-friendly nudity. Like in today's world of the internet nudity, family-friendly nudity. Most of these are softcore porn
side
titles.
boob.
Yeah. And so, like, again, not only even if he had been watching the thing he was meaning to be watching, most of you out there who are young would still be like, well, that's pretty fucking tame.
Yep. It's like, oh, they're just having regular missionary sticks.
Oh, you're not
They
even
did that on Sesame Street.
You're not even seeing that's what's happening. You're just seeing like a weird POV angle of the girl.
Yeah, I'm getting mostly man ass here.
You know, like weird things like that.
Right.
Like, we know.
You can see her boob like under his arm, but all you're really getting is dude butt.
And then after, as if seeing the scrambled porn though wasn't bad enough for us, right? We then see Tube Sock.
Oh yeah, baby, I'm huge.
I love he stretches it out. Yeah, he's
like it's gonna take up the whole thing.
And
this big enough?
This becomes a thing that he does multiple times too, like test the flexibility of the thing. He's always like
stretch enough.
Oh, okay.
Like he's like packing a third arm
or something. I don't know. It's so outrageous, and he's doing what he does,
doing the deed.
What any young man might do in this situation,
pounding the old pud, as his dad says later in the movie.
And of course, in walks mom for one of the most awkward, again, like I said, comedy of errors. Yep. This is what the movie. When we deal with him and his parents for this one, it is always a comedy of errors. It is always just like, he almost makes his way out of the situation, and then.
Yep. Then they come in, fuck it all up. Yeah. He's trying to hide.
But so he's going to town. His mom walks in. He starts to convince her. She starts to leave. Right?
Yeah.
He's like, I was trying to watch this nature
thing, and that explains the weird noise you're hearing until the guy pops in. Ride me like a pony. This dog wants to hide his bone.
And she was like, what?
What the hell?
Well, and at first the Ride Me Like a Pony, I'm like, he should have doubled down on the nature documentary.
Yeah, it's about rodeos.
It's a pony. It's a pony.
Yeah,
they said horses. They said animals.
Mongolian ponies are breeding this time of year.
He didn't try hard enough, right? That like for sure he didn't try. Then, as if it wasn't bad enough, his dad just walks in.
Oh, what, the TV's not working here? Let me see. He starts fucking with
the remote. And then his mom just says, I'm pretty sure he's trying to watch illegal porn in here.
Illegal.
I know. She's
trying to watch those illegal channels, and even Jim's just like, illegal channel? What the hell?
Again, this is one of those points where you can clearly start to see that maybe, like I said, they wrote Jim's dad in the Bible after the fact, right? Yeah. But I feel like this shows like he instantly tries to defend his son, and I believe it's because he knew his son was watching porn. It was not because he.
I'll fix it, son. Don't worry. I'll turn it off.
Yes, he was trying. He was trying to help his son. Yeah. But then before he could turn it off, what do we hear? Did you get this?
Smack my big hairy ass.
Spank my hairy ass.
What now?
Yeah, what now? What was that? Jim's dad was beautiful.
Right? Like, excuse me? What was?
Because, again, the look on his face is 100% like, well, I was trying to help you,
but there's no fixing that. Now.
There's no fixing that one.
You're fucked. Give me the remote. Grabs the pillow, and it's just big dick flopping in a sock.
And it's like, oh, shit. And then
that's how our movie starts.
That's the end to that. That's our cold open.
Right.
Now we go into the real movie, and we get Oz, and Oz and Jim talking as they're walking in to start the school day, right? Yep. And we see that Jim is one of those too honest with his friends kind of guys.
Tells them everything, apparently.
He's telling this story. This story he has no reason to tell anybody.
Have told anybody.
Because his parents aren't telling
No,
people.
They're not going to say nothing, and I'm damn sure not going to school and be like, hey guys, my parents caught me with my dick in my hand last night.
But no, he immediately, in full detail.
Right.
It's insane. I couldn't believe that. They're walking up and they're talking about this, and while they're talking, we hear this is one of those. The writer clearly gave away how old he was. Oz is like trying to be jockey because he's the jock. They want us to know right away, right? They immediately are like, we want you to know the personality type.
Oh, Jim's kind of a loser. Oz is the jock,
right? And so like they make sure as he's walking up, he's got to overcompensate and be extra masculine.
Right.
And he's like, well, that's the kind of thing you'd find on Lifetime. You know, that chick network, lifetime supply of pantyhose. I heard that because he talks about it like it's new, right? Like he says it like that
newfangled thing all these women are watching now. And as soon
as he said that, I was like, this was 99. I definitely know that I saw Lifetime as a young kid.
15 years by that point.
Yeah, came out in 84. I had to make sure because I was like, that's weird. That's
as old as you.
The writer showed his age, and he probably shouldn't have wrote that joke for kids quite a bit younger than him.
Yeah.
As a high school kid, when I heard, it was weird because I was just like, Lifetimes existed my lifetime.
Right? Like
it's
the
weird,
whole time.
It's weird for you to talk about that like it's new. And so like again, like I'm a little bit younger.
Just found out about
I
it.
guess so. Maybe his mom sheltered him
mom,
from it.
like,
his
no,
dad his dad sheltered him from it. Didn't want my boy to know we lived in a world where that existed.
Don't watch that women channel. You only get to watch monster trucks and professional
he actually
wrestling.
walked in when his mom was watching some Lifetime, and he had to be like, "We have another channel?
What is this?
I thought we only had 36 cable channels."
You're gonna tell me we're at 37 this whole time? I feel ripped off. This is an adult channel. I'm 16.
It'd be scrambled.
Trying to watch scrambled Lifetime movies.
All right. But yeah, like I said, this is not. It doesn't happen a lot. I'll give this guy because he's only a little bit. It's
right here, basically, and it kind of
after the
college girl date.
Yeah,
it stops basically.
After that, most of the writing pretty good, pretty spot on for a character, age, and time period.
Yeah,
but that line, I was like, no, that clearly came from a Gen X guy.
That was that guy who went to high school in the 80s right there.
Yeah, like it was like, dude, I don't get it, but okay, all right. You do you. You tell that joke. You've been holding on to that for a decade, waiting to tell somebody that joke.
Man, just been waiting to use this in a movie. This is perfect. 15 years.
So you do you. I'm not
My
gonna be
vendetta against Lifetime complete.
As they're walking down the hallway, we get, Jim looks over at him and says, Little Mermaid. Little Mermaid on TV.
Little Mermaid. Ariel is so hot.
She's a mermaid.
And on top of that, she's a cartoon.
But that's not even what Oz was worried about, right? Oz only hits him, or Nova. What's funny is, I swear to God, if you even look at credits, they might even call him Nova right now. Not credits, but like if you had captioning on. Again, I know that he's Oz, but and when I was a kid, I also remember, like, I don't care what anybody said, I called that dude Nova all the time. Because I was like, this dude's a fucking moron. When I heard him give the line, I was like, he's Nova. In my head, that's all it is.
That Casanova.
But Oz looks at him and just is like, it's a mermaid. Like, he's not even worried about the cartoon. He's just like, it's a mermaid, dude. That's weird. And then
only
Jim
when
is just
she's
like,
in the water.
Yeah, exactly. Like, only half the time.
When she's on land, she's human, okay?
She's pretty hot then too. Quite a way to like just walk off the screen too. Like that was just like that was our transition.
That was our transition to it,
right? We hear everybody talking about Stiffler's parties.
Yep.
Wanting to go.
We're going to Stiffler's tonight. We're gonna get drunk, have a good time.
Where specifically the Stiffler party thing is coming from Vicky and Kevin.
Yeah, because they.
Yeah, he's asked. Yeah, he's like, "Do you want to go?"
Yeah, because they pull up
together is later. For
they're driving up, and he's like, "We're gonna go, right?" And she's like, "No, all anybody ever wants to do is just like have sex and drink." And he's like,
"Sounds like a good party."
That's the whole point, right?
And then we see he's got her acceptance letter to college, and she's like, "Read it for me. I'm too nervous." You know the thing
they didn't take you.
Well, it's outrageous to me because it's like this is the thing that we always see in a high school movie, but usually once we know the characters, how weird is
the
it
introduction
to meet
them
her and then hear a reading of her acceptance letter?
Hi, girl, I haven't actually been given the name of yet. Let's read your acceptance letter.
So when he says you didn't make it, we have no reason to think he's lying.
Like,
he even delivers the line fairly convincingly. If convincingly enough, she believed it for a split second.
Goes to snatch the letter. She's like, "You dick." He's like, "What? Of course you got in."
Right, and so again, it's like, yeah, we don't know anything about them. That was a weird way to set that scene up.
Yeah. Can I get your name, please? I still don't think they've said it yet.
No. But so yeah, we got this is the least Tara Reid ever. Like we said, we want to make sure you're picturing the right kind of person.
Yeah, nice.
She is
nice
wholesome,
girl.
Sweet girl next door. And this guy was fucking her boyfriend was fucking with her about whether or not she got accepted to college. She did. I find it hard to believe that she's as good of a student as they imply, and she didn't know or didn't,
right?
Which I guess is what he was pointing out. He was kind of.
How could you think you not? Yeah.
But still, it is very strange. Then we get
she's book smart, little ditzy.
We then get to see everybody in the school, right? Go starting the day. Bell just rang for everybody to go to the first class, and we see that thing that we say is always in these goddamn Hollywood fucking movies, and it's a second story, two to three story,
yeah, with the stairwell
lobby,
and shit.
and it's like that is not.
No, there's like a fountain in the front.
I've never seen lobby. Like what kind of high school?
My high school looks like a prison block.
Yeah, California is so bullshit. There are
single
so many
story like square buildings.
You know, I think we pointed it out the first time when we did Encino Man how outrageous
Yeah,
all
these
of these fucking
fucking
high
schools
schools are, especially in the 90s. Like I feel like they got better with it by the like 2000s high schools and movies, but in the 90s they wanted you to like they found
It looked
the
like a
coolest
mall,
high school. They
right?
found the coolest ones they could, and they were like, we need to film there. And it's like, no, you need to find the most mundane one so that way most of us can relate to it.
Right? Instead of being like, man, my high school don't look.
Instead of making us all feel like, is everybody else getting this? Because I'm not getting this.
I got ripped off.
Because movies in the 90s would make you feel like everybody had this shit.
When I was in eighth,
everybody.
When I was in 8th grade, I literally had a class in one of those like portable trailer things that they would pull up.
That was our generation. Lots of people had that. Middle school and high schools all around America did that, which again is not represented in movies.
Yeah,
but it should be. Because
show me that half trailer thing that they would use. It's to the point
that there are memes about the fact that that's what most of us remember from school. That they wouldn't give schools enough money to build new places. They just said, "Here's a trailer." Teach them there. But yeah, I mean, you don't see that in movies, but that is 100% an experience that most of middle America
I'm glad it wasn't just us.
No, it was definitely not just us, yeah. It was a very common
Fuck
experience.
you, Hollywood, making us think high school is going to be awesome and like a freaking mall of America.
It's definitely not what we got.
No. We got brick buildings and freaking trailers. Is this where Finch is like a dick about his coffee for the first time? Or is that later?
It's in just a minute. First we get them walking in the hallway, and we see the guys, just the guys, right? Minus Finch. It's everybody minus Finch. And it's where we see that it's not just that Jim is overly sharing to everybody, because Kevin is telling everybody, she told me that she loves me.
She loved me, guys.
I don't know what to fucking do with that.
I don't know what to do about that.
Yeah, it's not even like a thumbs up.
Yeah.
He was literally like, I don't know.
His friends tried to be like, hey, that's great. And he's like, dude, I don't, am I supposed to say it back?
What does that mean?
This seems bad.
What am I supposed to say?
I just want to get my dick wet.
Exactly. From this second on.
Yes.
Kevin is trash.
Yeah, I don't like him much.
He is not a good dude. I can't believe that most of the movie paints him out like he's a fairly normal. Like, if I'd have met a guy that was this much fucking
been dating this girl for how? Yeah, I was like,
and pretending like he wasn't, I would have been calling him out. I would not have liked this guy.
Literally everything you talk about is sex, man.
Everything,
right? And
he brings all of it back there.
And I want to point out, he's like the only one getting anything. He needs to calm the fuck down.
No, he's the only one with a steady girlfriend,
right?
So he's getting steady action, regardless of whether it's actual intercourse or not.
You're getting something, buddy.
For high school. That's a pretty good deal.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I wish I
would have got that deal in high school.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's complaining about the wrong stuff.
For real.
But yeah, Kevin, I don't like him. I hate that the movie doesn't paint him. It doesn't paint him out worse.
No, it tries to make Stifler the bad guy.
They make him out like he's just a normal dude.
No.
And again, this is part of what we were saying. Some of this doesn't stand up as well as you'd like it to. The Kevin as a character does not stand up well.
He's this freaking sex-crazed poonhound who's just like, man, I don't really love this chick, but I really want to have sex with her.
What do you guys think I should do?
I don't want to tell her I love her just to have sex with her, but I really want to have sex with her.
He's not a good guy.
No.
I don't enjoy this character at all.
I like Oz.
Yes.
Oz at least has like an arc. He learns.
He gets better.
He gets better by the end of the movie.
As they're walking down the hallway, they walk past the band geeks. This is that first time that we were talking about where we see Allison Hannigan.
She is just sweaty looking.
Michelle. Yes, exactly. And again, they're inside. So this is an air-conditioned building. They've got 2 floors. I promise you they got air conditioning.
Yeah, for real. They can afford an air conditioner.
So she is... Again, to be inside and that wet, it's not sweat.
And the day has seemingly just started, so it's not like they came in from band practice.
This is her waking up,
right?
Coming into school.
Why'd they do that to her?
I don't know, dude. They did her dirty
because she is so hot.
Yeah, they did her very dirty.
I mean, good job. Makeup can do anything, even make you look bad.
This is we cut away from our guys at this point, and we follow Jessica and Vicky as they walk in, and Vicky again, apparently this whole place, Maybe it's us. Maybe
Yeah.
at this point we're realizing it's not the movie, it's us. Maybe we just didn't, maybe we're not as close with our friends as we should have
thought
been.
we were.
I don't know, but these people overshare.
Yeah, they
if you
do.
ask me.
I gotta tell my friends half the
But
shit
so-
that they're talking
But
about.
so Vicky and Jessica are talking about the long distance relationship and how she's not sure she can handle that with Kevin and the sex stuff that's
Yeah.
been happening. And literally Jessica just hits her with some cold hard facts and she's like, bitch, he's not long
You think he's gonna drive up 9 hours for
for
milk and
a
cookies?
BJ?
Right? You know, like what the fuck? You're gonna have to do something with him when he gets there.
For the occasional BJ and
Right.
cookies?
Nope, not gonna happen.
And I mean, I'm not trying to say nothing, but she might be.
I
she
mean-
might be onto something.
Yeah,
College is a different game. High school's one thing.
yeah.
You got a long distance girlfriend in high school, however that might work out. Yeah, whatever. You get to college, you got your own place.
Yep.
They're right
Your
there.
parents ain't around. You gotta like try and hide shit.
Changes the game.
Oh yeah, it does.
Jessica, wise beyond her years.
She really is.
Well,
She's
I
like
mean, that's
she's like the wise
The
owl.
movie paints her out
Yeah.
that way. Yeah, I remember.
She's done all this shit
Less-
already. She
well,
was that wild ass freshman.
Less so now. Like now, I don't see her character and think like she was supposed to be wise. Now I look at her character, and I'm like, she saw shit she wasn't supposed to see. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There is a difference.
She was
In
that
high
wild
school-
ass freshman.
In high school, I remember being like, she's just this wise older chick. You know what I mean? Like, it's amazing what some years
Yeah.
gives you perspective
It's
on
like,
something
oh,
like that.
dude, no, you were that
Don't get me
freshman
wrong.
chick who
I
got
was
picked
that
up by the
guy who's-
seniors.
I was that guy who saw a bunch of shit
Yeah.
he wasn't supposed to young. So I understand how it happens and how she's still a good person. It's not her fault,
Yeah.
but it is the perspective difference.
So she has valid advice to give.
Yes, she does. I
She-
don't
she
know
has
how she
some-
got it, and I'm not.
I don't
want to
wanna
judge
know.
her for it.
I don't want to know what our dark hole you
It
had
is
to
her
crawl
history.
from.
If she wants to share it, she can, but she didn't, so I'm not.
There's the prequel, the dark story of
Dude,
Jess.
let's hear it. I'm down
for it. It's
that.
a horror movie.
I'm down for it, dude.
She by the end of it, she's covered in blood, carrying a baseball bat with barbed wire on the end of it.
But yeah, so she basically is like, she's telling her advice is, look, you just need to fucking do it.
Yeah.
And then Vicky says, look, but I want it to be perfect.
It has to be the perfect time, the perfect place, the perfect setting, the perfect dress, the perfect thing. Perfect.
Look, we don't even get to hear
The look on Jess's
we
face
just
is
see
like,
we see
bitch.
her look and then we transition away. We don't hear her advice.
Yeah.
I want to stop and say the real advice, neither of them bitches is right. It
Nope.
falls in between there somewhere. There's no such thing as perfect.
Nope.
You definitely also shouldn't treat it as I just need to get it done and out of the way, and it shouldn't be in any way special or like matter
Yeah.
to you. It needs to be somewhere between. It shouldn't be so important you think you're going to make it perfect. Perfect doesn't exist, and you're going to get mad that things don't go perfect.
Right.
Right?
We find out later.
And so that one shouldn't be your thought. But you also shouldn't be as willy-nilly as Jessica is trying to be about
Just
it.
get it over with.
If you would have asked Jessica, she should have thrown it away to some dude as a freshman.
Yeah, as a freshman. Like, just knock it out of the way. It's fine.
And I'm going to tell you,
First one hurts anyway.
I'm going to tell you that it lies somewhere in between the two. And this is coming from a guy.
Find a
right?
happy medium there.
It should be somewhere in between. You shouldn't treat it overly important. You shouldn't treat it with no importance, right? Like find that
Yep.
happy.
It's
in the middle.
important, but understand that it's probably not going to go
In
the
the
way
grand
you want.
scheme of your life, it's probably not going to be the best, the most important. There are going to be other times that are going to be wilder, and
dude, mostly you're just going to remember that it was the first.
it was the first, exactly.
Yeah, I was like, I can't remember. If
So
was
make it
good or
special enough that you're
You
like,
remember
my
it was
first
the
wasn't a
first.
horrible time. That's
not.
what
Yeah,
you should do,
that's all you need.
That's-
Make it not bad.
right?
Shoot for that. Just make it not bad.
That's my advice. That's my advice.
It's never going to be
move on from
perfect,
that.
but make it not bad.
That's right. Now is when we finally see Finch the first time. Like you were like worried before.
Fucking sit there with his little
He's-
espresso
They, again,
thermos.
they make him so alien, right? Like
Right.
they're walking up to him. He looks so out of place. He doesn't look like he should
Looks
be
like
a
he should
student.
be a teacher.
And then it's like he is his own downfall. You know what I mean? Again, he brings up. We're finally at a part where it's going to be in my notes. Let me see. Yeah, mochaccino. I've been saying it right.
Mochaccino?
I've been saying it right. Yeah, mochaccino. Yeah. Again, as if they didn't give him the look that made him alien enough. The first things out of his mouth, right? They're like, I gotta address the whole thing. They sit down and they ask him.
Hey, man, you got the Latin homework?
They're doing Latin at this public high school.
It's a little weird. German?
That's insane.
German, maybe.
Again,
I got French and Spanish. That was all
well,
we got.
we came from backwoods schooling, so yeah, we got French and Spanish. That's it. Most places got French, Spanish, German, and Chinese.
Ooh,
But Latin,
hard.
most high schools aren't. Well, it's still base level. Again, you're not doing advanced. But yeah, Latin,
what for?
dead languages in high school.
Like what for? You going into seminary school
I
after high
understand
school?
a dead language for college, maybe.
History
maybe.
majors.
Yeah, there are people that might need it.
Catholic
High
priests.
school, we don't, as a society, use it enough anymore for it to need to be general education before you turn 18.
Maybe a bonus class. You can take it if you want.
It's an elective. As an
Yeah.
elective. Does Kevin or Oz
No, they
or
all-
Jim strike you as the people that would be taking Latin as
Just
an elective
because?
class?
Nope.
That was a mandatory class at this high school.
Oh yeah. Unless like every chick in that class was like stupid hot, but I don't see that.
And that would have been
happening.
part of the fucking script.
Yeah, that would have been part of the script.
They
yeah.
would have told us that. It would have been the plot.
Like, oh,
that would have
we
been
gotta
where
get to Latin
that would have
class.
been where they were going to meet the girls because
yeah.
half of
Nadia
them don't
would have
have
been in
girls
there.
yet. Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, that wasn't it. But yeah, so he again, I addressed that, but so then the line he hits us with to be again, they asked him about it, and instead of just answering them yes, no, or even telling this joke in English,
Nope.
he says my dog ate it
In Latin.
in Latin.
I will not repeat how he said it.
Oh, I don't know. And it wasn't in my captioning. I
Right.
couldn't write it down.
Just says-
Captioning said,
Latin.
yes. Because I tried. I was like, I'm going to write it down.
Write it down.
Nope.
I'm not running it
And
back 10 times.
and I wasn't going to go Google it because it probably wouldn't have came up to the same thing he said.
I know dog is canis.
Yeah. And I heard that.
Yeah,
I heard
that's
that. But yeah, I don't know. But he definitely tells them that. Again, the reason it's so stupid, the reason I have such a problem with him, he is his own demise. These are his friends.
And they're like,
And he knows that they won't get the joke,
Right.
but still says it and then gets mad that they don't get it. And it's like, dude, that's your problem. You knew they wouldn't get it, and now you're upset that your friends didn't get a joke
All
you knew they
butthurt.
wouldn't get.
sitting here and like, oh, I'm surrounded by Philistines.
Yes, and it's just like, dude, you're your own.
You did it to yourself,
You're your
Dick.
own problem.
You should have just said, no, my dog ate it.
Or even just
You
not
know,
even.
or no, do your own fucking Latin homework.
Or find the guy in class who gets Latin and tell him that joke.
Right.
But like going to your friends who you know don't understand, that's how you alienate these friends, right? Going to the ones who don't know it and saying this to them.
Why? They're all like, why are they friends with Stiffler? Fuck you. Why are they
Why are
friends
they
with
friends with-
Finch?
Yeah, dude, that's how I feel for sure.
Apart from like drinking good coffee, I feel like me and him wouldn't have much
Yeah,
to talk
no,
about.
that's the only thing. And I even said that I wouldn't have drank a
determination.
mochaccino. It's sugary and it's sweet and it's not the kind of thing that I usually drink. He could have had espresso in that fucking thing, and I've been
Yeah.
like, I love this dude.
This seems more like
The
the thing you would
pretension,
have.
and
The
the
pretension.
pretentiousness.
No, is a fucking,
But the reason, yeah, keep in mind,
fancy ass espresso.
this is pre like Starbucks everywhere, right? So this is pre like everybody knowing those words and knowing that that's a sugary,
yeah.
barely coffee drink.
It just sounds Italian and
Today
fancy.
we all know enough to be like, that's a made up word and that's just sugar.
It's sugar
right?
and caramel.
And so we'll call people out on that. Like we would have, today we would call this dude out. Like, I mean, I would
Right.
have in high school anyway because I just drank black
I just
coffee.
drank black coffee
But, today we definitely.
like a good punk.
But, like if he'd have said that back to me, like in 99, if he'd have said that, I wouldn't have known how not coffee that coffee drink is. Because it's got, like you said, the Italian sounding
Yeah.
name. So you're going to be like, oh, that's
Fancy.
real coffee.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's barely coffee at all. Let's move past him and his coffee.
No, I mean, coffee's an important subject to me.
It is.
You put all that shit in your coffee. How do you know whether the coffee you are drinking is any good?
Well, that's just it. Most of America doesn't care. This is why we need to stop.
You all don't even like coffee.
It's
Fight
the same,
me.
It's the same reason we like these movies and some people don't care.
Yeah,
enough.
it's true.
It's because we have better taste. I mean, we have
With
different taste.
different tastes. Not better. We didn't say that.
All right. Stifler rolls up and just starts bagging on everybody, dude. And again, like you're just like, what? Who the fuck is this guy?
Right.
Right? Like we know he's.
I thought first time I
he's
saw
friends
this
with
movie,
Oz.
I thought he was gonna be like the bully.
Well, yeah, well,
Right?
but you can tell because him and Oz are supposed to be jocks together.
Yeah.
And like this scene sets that up because he walks up with Oz, like
Oz.
seeming like he's going to be Oz's buddy. But then he rags on
Oz and everybody
name.
and shit.
And it's just like, what the fuck is going on right now?
I thought he was gonna be like standard '80s high school movie bully guy. I didn't know he was like part of their friend group.
Yeah, but
guy.
well, again, like I said, he starts with Oz, and it's like Oz is the one guy here that
You should have left out, right? Like, that's your boy.
That you should at least be remotely friendly with. You cannot be friends with Oz's friends, but you're on the team with him.
I see you ragging on Finch and Kevin and shit.
Well,
but
certainly Jim even.
Yeah, and
Jim's
Jim.
got that dumb haircut.
Yeah.
What is that? I mean, he's
I'm going to
asking for
cake
it.
my short hair with so
To
much
make it,
hair gel
and make it look like it's
So I
standing
can
up
make-
this much,
I
right?
can
This
make
tiny
the very,
little bit.
very front stick up like this.
None of the rest of it. The rest of
Nope,
it.
flat.
And so if you catch him from the
With
right
the
angle,
cone
it all
marks.
looks like it's all down.
So many people in high school.
I remember
had
this. I remember this.
This look.
And it wasn't even from this movie. It was just like it was separately.
Yeah,
It was just like
something
a
we
look that
did.
evolved. Oh, right before this is when we found out that Oz is bringing the college chick.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I'm gonna show up later to the party. He's like, why are you gonna go and like beat your meat or something? He's like, no, it's going with that college chick.
So I got it. Yeah.
Oh, so you can strike out. No, she's in college.
Well,
It's gonna be a sure thing.
Those are the lines. Those were the lines from
Yeah.
Stiffler that was making fun. Again, he just ran into his friend immediately.
How about you
Or
all
his-
unshrink
his-
wrap your
his-
dicks and actually
Yeah.
use them?
His quote unquote
Friends.
Yeah, after that scene though is when we get the high school pre-party planning moment, right? Like they're all at like
Yeah.
a Denny's, or we see later it's whatever that hot dog restaurant
stand
yeah.
is.
But yeah, we don't know that now. I don't think we see a sign for the restaurant
No,
until the end.
Looks
I don't
like
think.
some nice hot dogs, so
Yeah.
I'd like to go there.
But so like we all remember doing this somewhere.
Yeah,
right?
after
like not even
school,
for
meeting up
every
with your friends
party.
at Pizza Hut.
Yeah, it may not have been before every party, and it may not have been like a place that you did it every time. But we all remember at least one time in our life
Doing this.
before a party, being with all of our friends at some public restaurant, talking about the fact that we were all underage drinking way too loudly in
Smoking.
a public restaurant.
Remember when you could smoke in a McDonald's?
You know what I mean? Though, like, it's just the stupidity of all of us back in the day because we would do stuff like that, right? But it
Very
was,
loudly be like, yeah, we're gonna get so fucked up.
well, it was just such a different time because, like, unless someone was literally in the room that knew your parents,
Fuck it.
nothing was gonna happen.
Yeah,
right?
they didn't care.
Like, this is before a day and age where like everybody had a cell phone and could have called somebody they know might know your parents.
Yeah,
right? Like
it was
back
way
in the
easier to
day,
get away with shit
back
back
in the
then.
day, unless there was someone that directly could call your parents, because that meant that they would have to know your house number.
Which
You
usually
prob-
around here meant family.
Yeah, exactly, and is actually way easier than
way
it sounds.
easier than it sounds.
But for all intents and purposes, was that actually
That
difficult? right?
random aunt, great aunt you never met,
Yeah.
saw you, but she knows your whole life story.
they would-
ratted you out.
But like you said, though, they would have to know your, I mean,
Yeah.
like I said, they would have to know your home phone number to make that
They'd
happen.
start the chain. They'd be like, I know his Uncle Fred. And they'd call Fred. And Fred'd be like, well, this is his aunt's number. And they'd call him. Then they get grandma's number.
Well,
and then
see,
they
but-
get your mom's number.
See, but back in the day, it was still less likely for that to happen unless you were doing something really bad, right?
Yeah,
Like,
unless you're
think
doing
about it.
something real
Because
bad.
they still had to wait till they got home from wherever they saw you
True.
doing whatever. So if you were just talking about it in a restaurant, that tree wouldn't have started,
Yeah.
right? I feel like it's a cell phone age problem where it got to be so easy because like anybody could just be sitting in the restaurant and say, don't we know his aunt? Or don't we know this person?
Yeah.
And pull their cell phone and call them. Or get on social media and message them, right? Like,
Now they're just make a Snapchat video,
Well, that's
send
what-
it to their mom.
so this is what I'm saying.
Look
like,
what your kid's doing.
this was still an era where you could get away with just being
Being a
at
dumb
like a
kid.
Denny's at 3:00 in the afternoon and yelling about drinking and
Right.
a keg and
We're going to drink so much booze.
right, and that nobody cared.
Yep. They give you weird looks like, man, fucking kids.
Yeah, I love this. I love it. Again,
Ah,
the nostalgia,
Times that are gone.
the time capsule that this movie is
Right.
for me. It makes me feel so nostalgic about a specific time.
The early 2000s, man. Such a good time.
Now we then zoom into our party, right? At Stiffler's house.
It's a fucking
First
big
thing
ass
we see-
house.
And it's a big ass house, and there is a party going on. I will not deny it. This is not a high school house party where no parents are, right? Like
Yeah.
if they would have told me his mom was in the house, I would believe this party.
Everybody's a little well behaved,
They're
aren't they?
all very well behaved.
Nobody's breaking anything.
Well, and there's not so many people crammed in that you can't
shoulder
move.
to shoulder can't move.
I can't hardly wait, as has been mentioned before in this episode, is a better representation of a high school party. It is,
yeah, dude, like that scene where in the kitchen, in the living room, there's like 8 people on the couch, another 30 standing behind them, and Seth Green trying to hit on that one chick.
That was a high school house party, right? This was so not a high school house party.
Maybe Stiffler's not as popular as they wanted us to think, right?
You think that, but there's people from every group.
That's true. We even walked past Sherman.
Well, and again, it's just that it's a big house. Like, I mean, that the part of this is supposed to be how rich Stiffler is, right? Like, it is a very big house, so it's not that there's not a lot of people. It's that he's got so much money they're not having to be elbow to elbow like they would be at the house parties we would go to.
Those are big houses too, man. We had field parties.
But so beyond noticing how ridiculously adult this party was,
everybody's just kind of calmly having these conversations,
talking,
really
drinks quiet. Stifler's mingling around,
being a host, being like, "Hey, how you doing? How you here? Have a drink."
Right? It's just like, this is so not real, right? Like, I can't believe this. While it zooms in and we see all that, get that vibe of the party, we then settle on Jim, who's talking about how he's finally going to talk to Nadia.
Yep.
Right?
She's over there. She smiled at me.
Oh, yeah, I got to do it. Literally, again, since this movie kind of just kicks us off with these friends and we don't know anything about them, I was just like, do we even know if he's ever spoke to her before? Because it almost plays like he's having this conversation, but he's never talked to her. Like, but no friend acknowledges that. Like, you would almost expect Kevin, because he's such a dick most of the time,
be like, you've never even tried to talk to her, you pussy. Yeah,
like, you don't know her. What do you mean you're going to
go talk about?
Her? So I'm going to assume, though, that means he does. And we do find out later that they at least have one class. Yeah. He's going to tutor her, right? Like, so
world history or something.
They are at least in one class together. So we can assume, again, that they might have spoke to each other. Maybe. That being said, there are some lines later on that really make me question everything about whether she would have known him or not, even if they had a class together. Because this school apparently is 8,500 times bigger than any high school we've ever seen.
There's 9,000 people in this school.
It's outrageous the way some of these people, some of the lines that
I've never seen you before in the entire 4 years of my high school career.
Well, like when he joins the choir team and Oz makes the line like, they must not know me.
Dude, they don't know me here. I can totally do the sensitive angle here.
I was like, dude, they're in your high school and you're on 2 different sports
teams. I was like, aren't you like varsity football and lacrosse?
Yeah, because he says that in the same sentence.
Yeah.
Out fucking outrageous. Dude.
Nobody knows you though.
Okay, we gotta get back on track. But you get what I'm saying though.
You lived the obscure life of high school that I did,
and so it makes the whole thing with how they interact. For like I said, with Nadia, for how several of these people interact, imply that the school is maybe way too big, comically big,
right?
Because again, they never overtly tell us the setting, but they definitely hint at that we're in Michigan because it's.
It says his cabin up on Lake Michigan later.
Well, and he mentions that they're going to have a game at MSU. Did you hear that?
I did.
They mean Michigan State.
I know, but I was like, hey, it's us. Oh, we don't have a lacrosse team.
But then they also he's going to go to East Lansing and she's going to be in where, you know what I mean? Like they met, it's Michigan. So they're in Michigan. There is no 10,000 person, unless it's in Detroit. And they are not in Detroit.
They are not in Detroit, no.
So again, this is crazy that they're trying to imply whatever this town is that big. Is so big that these people, that you might
ship their kids from hundreds of miles away just to go to this school.
Know somebody, like I can believe, I was a senior that didn't know freshmen, right?
Yeah. I knew most of the people in my class, though.
I certainly knew their name. If you were to put a pic in like now, maybe not, but in high school,
I was like,
if you had shown me
a
picture of every single person in my grade, I could have told you their name. I may not have had a story to go with it.
170 of us,
but I could have certainly told you their name.
Right.
I find it hard to believe that these people are in Michigan like this.
No idea. I don't know who the guy on the football team / lacrosse team
Never
is.
heard of him.
Never
before.
heard of
Don't
him.
know anything about him.
Especially
his personality type.
Especially the guy who's like right-hand man to Stifler on the field.
The other guy.
Yeah, the other MVP.
The other most important person
right?
in any sport. Yeah. Okay.
No idea who he is.
But yeah, that's this scene definitely sets. It's the first time we see the obscureness of how they try to like whatever size they're trying to imply that this school.
The
is.
graduating class of this senior year is 905. That'd be a big number. I couldn't remember 905 people.
While they're talking though, and he's trying to get up the nerve to go talk to Nadia. At one point, Kevin says something to Jim. And then Jim starts waylaying, and again, I don't like Kevin, and I'm not trying to defend the man, but Jim waylays into Kevin, like starts bagging on him about the whole sex stuff in the wrong kind of way. Because again, like we already said, Kevin is at least the one guy
he's at least
who's getting steady stuff. You can't bag on you like he.
Haha, you look at you with your all your blowjobs.
Well, that's what I said. He's like, look at this guy. He's got a girlfriend. And, he's just getting what blowjobs. And I was like, again,
over here stranded on third base. It's like
you are a guy who's telling us that you've never done basically anything with a girl. You don't get a bag on the guy who gets steady.
Aren't you the guy who asked what third base felt like?
He gets steady action. You can't bag on the guy getting steady action, regardless of what that action is.
Yes, you got a blowjob.
Wants to know what third base feels like. That's right after that. He makes fun of them for the BJ stuff. Then immediately they talk about third base, and he goes, "What's that feel like?" And it was like, dude, you were just trying to bag on him, and then you followed it up with, "What does that feel like?" You sound like the sad, pitiful boy that you are.
Loser. Shut up. Oh my god.
But yes, that is. We do get the build up to the line that defines it all.
The entire movie,
right? Feels like a warm
apple pie. Is that McDonald's or homemade?
Homemade, kid.
Yeah.
Although, if they would have went with McDonald's,
funny to see
how fun? Well, because he already likes tube socks.
Right, he likes tube, and it is.
We're not going to get graphic in our description. You guys know what we're saying. A McDonald's apple pie might have been very crafty.
It would have worked better, not as much like a mesh. You're not like spilling apple into the because it's all like.
Okay. I think they get it.
But he can't do it. He can't talk to her. He walks
up.
He like trips over the coffee table while he's walking up to him. He walks up
and he does this awkward laugh
immediately. As soon as he walks up.
And then never says real words. He only awkward laughs. And then awkward laughs himself right the fuck away.
I'm just going to go now. Maybe listen to what the girls are saying when you walk up. I've done this to random people at parties. Just walk up and stand there quietly and listen for 30 to 40 seconds. See what they're talking about. If you have something to add or contribute, do so. If not, walk away. It's really easy.
While he's off doing that, the other people or maybe even before, I can't remember. Again, some of the cuts that are a little weird.
Yeah, that cuts around because we have like 4 main characters.
At some point during the party, though, we see Sherman for the first time, right?
Yeah.
And we don't really know anything about him.
This is the beginning. This is where you first hear the Shermanator.
This isn't even when he says Shermanator. This is the first time you see him is literally just Stiffler walking past him.
The fuck are you doing here?
Right? And it's just like, well, I thought when the first time I heard it, I was like, God, what a dickhead is Stiffler. But then you remember he didn't kick him out. No. He didn't say, what are you doing here? And then say, get the fuck out the door. So Stiffler, again, catches a bad rap.
He lets the guy
even
stay.
From us.
Yeah, even from us, he gets a bad rap.
But he's an all right dude.
Could have had his buddies throw him out.
I know plenty of people that would have totally
thrown him the fuck out, dude.
He was like, oh, that's all right.
You weren't invited. Fuck off.
Now, that being said, the doorbell rings, and it's a bunch of the band geeks, and he doesn't let them in. And I was like, so where's the line in the sand?
No, he fucked up there. You should have let the band geeks in. Those are where the real freaks are at.
Well, I agree, but my point here is just like, where's the line in the sand? Right? Like, Sherman can stay.
Sherman's that just a level of nerd above band geek that he's acceptable.
It's a weird line to paint.
There's always weird lines in high school.
There is. I will give you that. There are. That one, though, I don't know why, but it clocked me really bad.
You're wearing pink shoes. Go away. None of us wear pink shoes, said the high school student.
Shortly after that, though, is when Sherman walks up to the group.
Yeah. It starts with his Shermanator bit.
I'm the Shermanator.
See that brunette chick over there? There's time she met the Shermanator.
Well, he didn't even point her out yet. He just says the brunette from Central.
We have no idea.
So she's from a different school.
Yeah, it's like, what are you talking about? We don't know her.
I was like, that's a weird way we didn't need that. They could have just said that girl and done what they do later, which is show him like
going in a
head
room
nod
with a
over
chick, like,
towards
I
her,
got some
right?
company.
We didn't need to hear the she's from
a different
Central,
school
because that has no bearing on anything.
What if we never saw her?
Well, I guess that's supposed to be why nobody verified until prom.
Oh yeah,
It's because she wasn't at the
just
school.
at the school.
So I guess we just worked out why.
Why she just
That
shows
being
up
said,
at
I
prom.
still hated it.
Yeah, I do too.
It still just bothered me that he needed to drop that line, and we're all just like, oh,
Okay.
Because for a split second, I thought he was referencing that he was going to go for the girl that was there from the college. Because I was like, oh, maybe Central is the college. Is he trying to go after?
He's
Oz's
going after
chick?
Oz's chick.
Because again, we've not seen her yet.
Yeah, not yet.
We've only heard her reference, and so I was just like, is that what he's talking about? But then we see him nod, and it's not her, and I was like, oh.
Doesn't
So a
even
different
cut
high
over
school?
to anybody, does
No,
it?
not until later. Like before they leave the party, we do. Because again, we
Yeah.
see him go to the room and he's all like,
Yeah.
don't you
Remember that
boys
chick
listen?"
I
Yeah.
mentioned that I never showed
Yeah.
anybody?
So that point we see her, and it's after we've seen Oz's girl, so we know it's not the same one. But again, like when I hear him say Central, we don't know anything about why another high schooler girl might be here. I thought maybe he was talking about the college girl.
Yeah.
Central sounds like a good college name,
Yeah.
right?
Central University.
I believe it.
Central Community College.
Thank you.
I could probably come up with more. Give me
I'm
time.
Sure.
But no, then after this is when it cuts over to Oz at the date with the college girl, right?
Yeah. Well, technically, I think we messed up when Jim talked to the girls, but it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
We've
this
addressed.
all happens around the
It's
same
a
time.
party,
Yeah.
and they were drunk kids, and we're drunk. So if we're getting things a little mixed up, I think you understand why. There's just too many layers
Yeah.
of drunkenness.
There's too much layers to this rum cake.
I like it. Yeah. So that doesn't matter. We can definitely go ahead and cut to
Oz
To Nova.
making an ass of
Nova.
himself.
Nova. Look,
Nova.
even if you don't want to agree with me and call him Nova all the time, this
Right
scene,
now, he's Nova.
he's Nova. He's Nova for the whole scene too.
he's got the
He starts
the
it off.
sex phone operator voice
this
again.
This scene embodies the reason why you were like, I'm supposed to know this guy, because everything about how this is why, like, even during later on he does some good acting. This scene though just is embroiled in your head about how bad the acting
this
is.
cringe, dude.
And again, it's really just more that it's so cringe you're barely looking, and it's
Right.
like technically I guess that means he's doing great because that's what he's supposed
Yeah,
to
it's
do.
supposed to be, I guess.
But it makes it hard to focus on how good he's doing because you're just like, I don't want to look at
I
it.
don't want
I
to
don't
watch
look
this.
at it.
I don't want to
I don't
see
want to
it.
look at it.
Just stop. Just shut up. Just shut up,
He
man.
immediately starts with, immediately. Like, the first lines we hear come out of his mouth, suck me, beautiful. Like, don't get me wrong, they are.
There's all the chicks. She's just like, this is a nice spot, you know.
And he's just
pretty,
like, again,
and he
he's
just
silent.
leans back. He's just
he
like,
leans
yeah,
back.
it
He's
is.
kind of nodding at her.
Suck me, beautiful. And she's like, what the fuck?
She just starts laughing uncontrollably, like she should have.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? Then he tries again.
Well, no, then
He brings up the Casanova line.
The only reason he says it the second time is because she said, "What did you say?"
Right.
And so he clarified, and then she was still laughing. And again, yeah, like you were about to say, his only defense, quote unquote, for this is
My friends
my
call
friends
me
call me
Nova.
Nova. It's short for Casanova, and she again just starts laughing because what does that
She
have?
is red
That,
faced.
that phrase literally doesn't fit the moment they're in, right?
You maybe if you had
That's not-
started with that one
That's not an explanation.
and said it in a way where you're intentionally like fishing for the laugh.
oh yeah,
I'm being a smart ass right now.
but to say
haha.
that like that's the defense
Yep, that's
of
the-
why you just did what
yeah,
you
I'm
did.
Casanova. That's why I just said "suck me, beautiful." Dude.
That's
Don't you get it?
That's fucking wild.
Even he's just sitting there. He's like, "Are you gonna laugh at me?" And she's like, "What else am I supposed to do, you idiot?"
Well, and on top of that, you can say whatever you want. You can read it on that girl's face, even though that was the line that made her be like, "I'm dropping you off."
Yeah.
She had no intent. Like, she wasn't there to hook up with this high school kid.
No.
I don't understand why that means she was on a date with
I
this high school
don't get why
kid
she
at
went out with
all,
him to begin with.
but she definitely never had any intention.
Of fucking him at all.
Maybe he just told us the situation wrong.
Maybe. Oz epic failure,
Yeah.
right? He said she takes him back to the party. Like, why didn't he just take her to the party?
Well, she was driving, so I guess she
Right?
just didn't want to go.
She just didn't want to go. I was like, we're just gonna go park over here.
She said, if I'm driving, you go where
you
I
go where the hell I go. I'm gonna drop you off at the party now. And then we have Kev and Vicky in the room doing the BJ.
Mm-hmm.
Bitch can't even swallow.
Well, it's high school. I didn't. I mean, that actually
Or
made
spit,
that was
or at least spit. He had to take care of it. He had to jump up, find something to freaking put
that,
it in
that,
and shit.
That might have been a little.
That
far.
one, you ever had to pinch it off? It shit hurts.
But so he finds a cup, finishes in the cup.
Yep. Stifler walks in and kicks him out right after that, right?
This is the most vomit
Oh
inducing
my
scene
God,
ever.
it's so
Just between
gross.
watching him pick the cup up and then her have the cup and then him pick like this whole
This
moment
whole back
of like
and forth with Stifler and the girl.
juggling of this was it like the 3-card
3-card Monty
Yeah.
with the pale ale.
yeah,
as we'll
just,
call
it's
it.
horrible, dude. Like I just constantly am like watching whatever substance they've got in that cup jiggle. Like
Oh
I can't take it.
no, it's so gross. But Stifler ends up taking a big swig of it, throws all over this chick, which I'm fine with because it seemed like he may have been trying to take advantage.
Yeah, this is
little bit.
probably the thing that actually made us be able to still defend him.
Yeah, because he didn't. He threw up on her and nothing happened.
Because she definitely
ruined that bitch's night.
Because I'll say this, I don't know what the age difference is, but she looked stupid young standing next to Sean William Scott.
Yeah, dude.
Right? Like
She's
that actress.
She looked 16.
Yeah, and he was clearly like 20, right? Like I mean, it was the aging was.
She looked younger than she needed to be for this scene.
Yeah. So thankfully, like we said, it's great. Poor girl, dress ruined. It is what it is.
Oh my God, no! He's just like throwing up in the toilet and stuff, and Kevin comes in there and he's just like, "Hey man, how'd you like the pale ale? Fuck you, man."
Then we can cut outside to Jessica and Vicky talking about the same situation,
the same thing.
and Jessica is just like, "Oh, a guy likes a blowjob."
Shock.
Never would have expected that. And then Vicky's literally like, "Oh, I mean, it's okay. He just likes it." Have you ever gotten
You ever had the big O
yourself?
Right? Never double clicked your own mouse.
That's the
I
line.
love that
That's the
fucking line.
And she's just like, "No."
I think I have. The bitch, if you would know.
Yeah,
if
and
you
that's what
did.
she says, and she goes,
She's like, you
"Okay,
didn't.
then no."
Then no.
Damn, dude. Damn, Kev.
Right, dude. Man, poor Kev. Apparently not skilled of tongue.
Doesn't know what he's doing there. Then we can cut inside to this is our MILF moment. This is our MILF
This
moment.
is our MILF
This
moment.
is everybody standing
They are
around.
just around the
They're
portrait.
huddled.
They are huddled around it.
Everybody's staring up. Our boy, like I said, John Cho,
Sulu Harold.
MILF guy number one.
MILF guy
for
number
lack of
one.
a character name to call him, is looking up and he's just like, "Yeah,
MILF.
she's a MILF." And they're like, "What?"
Mother, I'd like to fuck. And they're just like, yeah, man.
And then they all
MILF.
start
And then it started a
chanting.
whole fucking craze of all of us
Right?
saying MILF.
They like chant for a second.
MILF.
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 MILF. And he like leans in.
You
He
see
starts
the-
like rubbing his face on the picture's tits. He's like, dude, what are you doing?
Well, you can see the people in the background of the scene. This was shot great. Like looking at them, because again, only 3 people heard his description of what the word means. So the rest of them are just staring like, what
Why
are
are
they
we
chanting?
chanting MILF for?
What's that word mean?
What's going on?
It
Why is he
was
rubbing his face on that picture?
excellently done. I loved it.
Right.
For again, what inspired an entire genre. It's great.
And an inspired acting career after that from this guy.
Way to go, John Cho.
For real. Oh, and this is where we see Sherman has the chick.
He takes the chick, and all of the like Jim is like, "What's
Everybody's
going
like,
on?"
"What the
Everybody
fuck?"
in the room that sees it are like, "That's bullshit."
No way. If
Fuck
he
that
gets
noise.
laid before I do, I'm going to be so pissed.
Right?
Which leads Kevin to start bitching about being tired of blowjobs.
This was so outrageous. Not even for the fact that his girlfriend's at the party.
Yeah.
For the fact that other people, they're in a high school
There's a lot of people around him.
that know his girlfriend.
Yep. And he says it loud. Like she hears him from across the room.
But like, even if it wasn't her, somebody
a lot
else
of people heard
would
it.
have heard it and then told her, right? I mean, this is
Yeah.
high school. Gossip happens.
Oh, dude, like, I heard your boyfriend was talking so much shit. You apparently suck dick bad.
For a group of friends that overshare, you think they would have learned the lesson already to be like, we only overshare at home.
At home. Not in public or loudly.
Right?
You know.
No. Kevin's a moron.
He's this dumb shit. And Vicky
straight
rightfully gets
moron.
pissed off and leaves, right?
Definitely rightfully
Breaks up
so.
with him even. Like, no, fuck you. I'm leaving.
Yeah. There was no definitive breakup. This
But
was,
it's
you know, like
heavily
high school.
implied.
Yeah, it's high school breakup,
I'm
right?
not
Like,
talking to you.
and then we see everybody wake up. I love this.
Just wake up in the house
We
you
just
partied at.
Yeah, well, and they're all in like you just
Random
wherever
spots.
you fell,
Wherever
right?
you fell.
We see beer cans around. Like I remember high school parties.
Yeah.
This is what if you were lucky enough to have friends whose parents left and you had this kind of high school party,
You could wake
this
up
is
in
what-
strange places.
this is what it was.
front
you
porch,
woke up,
bathtub.
yeah, weird
floor.
places, and you just had to be like you'd wake up just like they did, like just
Yeah.
like fresh. Like you'd be like, huh,
Oh man,
this is crazy,
you guys want to get some food?
right? Like just totally forgetting the debauchery that was
Although
the night
Finch,
before.
Finch is there all of a sudden because he showed
hadn't
up.
been there the whole night. They even call him on it. They're
Like,
like,
where
where'd
were
you
you?"
come from?
It's like, oh, I tried to be fashionably late, but I was too late.
And there were no
There were no
left.
women left, so he's just been sitting in the corner drinking all night.
Drinking the fancy
He's
booze.
still drinking. He's got the little snifter brandy or whatever. He's just like,
Stealing the fancy booze.
I would too.
Yeah, well, of course. Nobody was awake to stop him.
Mhm.
He got there after everybody passed out.
Everybody passed out. He's like, well, fuck yeah, I'm cracking open the scotch.
Before we're finished with the house and go to the restaurant for breakfast, Sherman.
Walks
Fucking
out
Sherman,
with that chick.
Clearly seeing, you can, again, the night before, you couldn't necessarily tell they were Jinkos. Clearly, you can tell they're Jinkos this time. He's given me and my friends a bad name.
Not all people who dress this way were bad people. Just Sherman.
He's escorting the girl out. He's already making the insinuations.
He's looking over at the guys like,
and so again, he didn't.
yeah,
You know he didn't.
you're going too hard on it. And I want to point out, she didn't kiss you goodbye.
Nothing.
She
She
just
just
said,
walked,
she's like,
yeah.
oh, it was a really
great.
it was a good
Yeah.
time, and then left.
Yeah.
Fuck that, dude. You lying sack of shit. You didn't get nothing. I would have
Yeah.
called immediate bullshit. I'd have been like, what? Just spend the whole night up crying?
Yeah. Well, and this is, as soon as we see this is when
Talking
Jim.
about your
Yeah,
feelings.
well, that's exactly what
That's
it was.
exactly what
we find out
happened,
later. Yeah. But yeah, so this is when Jim gets outraged, right? He starts screaming about it. If he has sex before me, I'm gonna fucking lose it. This and that. I want to say, well, even Finch, right? Even Finch was
tries,
like,
we should be happy for Sherman.
no.
No, I can't do that.
Now Kevin comes out sounding like the true narcissistic asshole he is. Because everybody else said they're right. I mean, fuck Sherman shouldn't because of the kind of guy
because
he
the
is.
guy is.
But what does Kevin have to say about it? Fuck that. That's not right. I've put in time.
I put in quality
deserve
time.
to have it
I deserve
first.
it. Man, fuck you. It's not how it works.
Whoa, there's not a time scale.
right.
There's no exact science
It's
here.
not a points earned thing.
It's outrageous that he goes that way.
I've sold 19 subscriptions. I am due my booty.
But so after this, we get to the restaurant, right? They all start talking, commiserating, understanding. We're all dealing with some dumb shit. And we
Right.
shouldn't have to.
We're gonna make a pact.
No, the first word's not a pact.
It's
the
a-
first time he's describing it, and when he describes it, god damn it, Kevin describes what it should have been, right?
A competition.
Well, no.
A
no.
bet?
No, you're missing it. The first time was just, we're helping each other.
Oh yeah, where he's talking to Oz. He's like,
The
when you
shitty-
go to the gym,
You mentioned
you need a spotter.
Yeah,
I skipped a
yeah.
spot.
And you mentioned every shitty thing when I was like, no, one time it was good. And you
One
were like,
time-
a
I was
bet,
like,
a
no,
competition.
Fuck him. He's a bad person. I don't want to talk about his good quality.
But the first time he mentioned it, the first time he pitched it, it was good, and it's what it should have been, which was that they all were going to help each other,
Support each
so
other.
essentially,
Give him that.
you know, like
you
if
can do it.
if you're good with poetry and the girl you're trying to like wants to hear a good poem, your buddy's going to help you.
Buddy's
going
gonna
to
help you write the poem, right?
right? That's what we should have seen. That's what he pitched.
Yeah, at first.
Then less than 30 seconds go by in the conversation, and it's no longer that, it's a pact.
Yep.
But then you hear the description of the pact, and it's not a pact, it's a bet. Because they clearly say there are winners and losers because they mention that Finch can't win.
Because he can't buy a prostitute. Which I see the look on your face. That's exactly what you were thinking. He's just kind of like, damn it.
But so again, the point here being that Finch wouldn't have even thought that because this wasn't supposed to be a comp. He wasn't trying to be first. Kevin said,
Just
this
get
is
laid.
about us all
Let's all
helping
get laid.
each
If
other.
Finch wants to get a hooker, let him.
So again,
Y'all should have pitched in $20.
I feel like either the very first line should have just been cut, right? If we didn't hear him give the little tiny 3-line speech about Independence Day style, how they should be pairing up to help each other.
I will not be obscured into celibacy.
Right? Like if we wouldn't have had that and we just went straight into the second half, I would have no problems.
Right.
It all makes sense. But having that crazy fucking speech where he makes it sound like we're gonna help each other, we deserve to do this. This
Big
the only,
rally speech.
He literally says it's the only way we can make it happen.
We have to support each other.
And then 30 seconds later,
every man for himself.
this is a competition.
Whoever
and I'm
gets
gonna
it-
laugh at who can't do
Whoever
it.
doesn't get it sucks.
Right?
You're a loser.
How did that evolve so quick? How did that escalate to that?
Want to make it a competition and then wrote themselves into a corner.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Because again, you're right. Like again, the movie would be so weird if we were because at that point you're almost like, is this really creepy that 3 guys are each trying to help one guy sleep with somebody? That's almost weird.
Right. I mean, I get being a wingman, but this is
But
a
yeah,
little
no, that would be
extreme.
on a different level, though, right? Because that would be all behind the scenes. Like
right.
now, before we move away from the fact that this is what they mentioned, I want to point out that as soon as we leave, the only thing I want to say before we leave is they do tell us it's 3 weeks. They have 3 weeks to get this done.
Yep, because
what the fuck? 3 weeks?
Have fun with that, man.
All but
Just
one,
completely redirect your entire high school career.
all but one of these people have no girlfriend or prospect.
Yep.
So they are going from square one to sex in high
3
school
weeks.
in 3 weeks. Good luck, sir.
Yep, have fun with that one, buddy.
Good luck, sir. This movie doesn't address how ridiculous those odds are.
Right.
They make it sound like this is feasible.
Completely doable, man.
It is not. But then
Be confident.
But so then we get to leave the restaurant, and the first thing we start to see is this montage, right? Like of what each guy starts off.
Yeah,
with.
where it seems like that's what we're doing. Is we're going to help everything.
The first thing we see makes me feel like what we thought was going to happen,
right?
Started to happen
because they're like looking up for like flower arrangements.
Well,
and shit.
It's Oz is watching something at Jim's house, and it is a flower arrangement show, right?
Yeah.
And then we cut to the locker view of Kevin and Vicky, of Kevin trying to get her back.
Did you get the flowers?
And he says, "Did you get the flowers?" And so, like, I was like, "Oh,
felt like it,
so
right?
Yeah,
the
way
boys
it
came
panned,
together and helped me try and get my girlfriend not mad at
the
me.
way it panned out. That's how it felt, and it was right after his fucking Independence Day speech.
This is the only time it happens.
Yeah, and
the rest of it turns into like
don't
we're all
think
just
it was
fending for
intentional.
ourselves.
I think it was accidental editing,
right?
That they didn't notice felt that way, right? So no, it doesn't. I will understand if for a split second, much like me, you thought, oh, they are helping each other.
Yeah, just like, oh, cool.
They're not. He didn't do the flowers. It's just the way they edited.
Yeah,
that.
he just was watching Martha Stewart.
Yeah, he's just trying to do more
to be sensitive,
to
like
touch his-
college chick said.
Yeah, he's trying to get in touch with his feminine side.
Yeah, because he's trying to not be so.
So they
crass.
should have shown him watching Lifetime, and we wouldn't have
really-
had this whole
really
misunderstanding,
should've.
right? It would have been full circle from the opening.
But no, it fit too perfectly into Jim helping Kev find the flower thing in the phone book.
It felt the same.
Yeah,
I didn't like it.
And then immediately cuts to just like, oh, we're all going to do our own thing. Jim's trying to do the online dating thing.
Fucking... Oh, we got to stop there. The online dating, because again, this is one of those
email.
Yeah, this is. I want to say this is online dating. This isn't like what you think of today.
No, it's
this
not Tinder.
This isn't mobile dating. This isn't swipe up, swipe down. This is pre social media, so this wasn't even like you could contact. This was essentially video dating from the 80s, but on
online with that shitty pixelated fucking ball camera.
Oh my goodness. And it's just like
the picture he takes for his profile.
He's 17 or 18.
Spot on.
He's not going to get contacted by anybody because most of the people that are on that site are adults.
Yeah.
They're not going to talk to They're
not talking to an 18-year-old kid.
It's so crazy that they even brought that as a thing into the movie because I was just like, it's
not going to work. It barely works now.
The other person we see and how they're starting this journey, Finch?
He's playing putt-putt.
Outside.
It's just all he does.
I thought it was a hookah at first.
Yeah, I did too. He's pulling it out. And he's like, I was like, we go smoke an opium pipe or something.
Well, I was like, he's got a hookah. Why is that going to get him girls?
I mean, stoner girls.
I was literally starting to type that note, and then I looked up and saw him screw with the. I was like,
the butter part. Like,
I'm the problem.
I just saw a thing and immediately thought hookah or bong.
Yeah, that's exactly what just happened.
That's on me.
I was like, ooh, that's me. I did that. Oh, okay.
I'm the problem here. But no, it seems like his plan is to do nothing.
Zen.
Yep,
Zen
just
golf.
Zen. If I build it, they will come, kind of thing, right?
Kevin goes to Jessica for help.
Yep.
Right. Once the flower thing didn't pan
work.
out
She's
for
like,
him.
"What do I do?" She's like, "Look, you either tell her you love her, or you're gonna have to give her the begin, the as she put it."
Oh, and before the scene started happening, right, we saw Kevin handing everybody the condoms.
Oh, that was weird. Why in the hallway? That seems like something you should do at like your house. Not just grocery bag. Here's condoms
like
for
something
you.
weird for
Condoms
one
for you.
friend to do
Condoms
anyway
for you.
when none of you are having sex. Was that supposed to be for educational purposes? What was the point of that?
I guess because later we see Jim just like playing with them.
Exactly.
Like,
So
I've never seen a condom
I just wanted
before.
to, before we walked away from what was happening here.
I
to
had it in
talk
my
about how
notes
strange
too.
that
I was like, why hand them out in school?
So then after that, anyway, we get to see Oz, right? And Oz is our next one after we.
Oh yeah, because Stiffler runs up to Kevin when he's talking to Jess. It's like, you need to see this.
Well, and not only that, like, there wasn't much in their conversation. Like,
No,
really, it's just Jessica says, "I'll help you," which I think is questionable.
You need to get her an orgasm. Oh, I thought I did. No.
Well, and
no,
that's-
Kevin, you haven't.
It was uncomfortable because A, he thought that he had, and B, like, what was he walked up to say, I want to get her back, and then she goes, "I know how you can do that. Give her an orgasm." And it's like,
But she's not talking to me right now.
yeah, I was like, they're not dating right now. That's weird advice,
Right?
That's a weird thing to say.
I know
this
how to
is
fix
how you
this.
get her back.
Let me eat that pussy.
Right?
That'll fix all of it.
So Jessica's advice is kind of questionable,
bit.
but we do know she is on his side, which is also questionable because he's a
He's an
horrible
asshole.
human being, and she sees that,
But she's just going to let her friend...
but she wants her friend to get off.
she needs to have sex, so
I
she'll
don't know.
shut the fuck up about it.
This whole thing with Jessica is kind of weird.
She's so tired of her friend being indecisive about it that she's actively working against her at this point.
Oh yeah, like we were saying, Stifler ran up, told them like, you got to see.
You gotta come see this, and Oz has joined the jazz choir.
Well, and again, as
Glee.
I pointed out, it
Proto
is
Glee.
literally
It is.
Glee.
It is the
it's
Glee.
what it feels like. It feels like it's the first time Finn was
First
there.
episode, because he's like, why? All his friends give him shit.
This is Puck making fun of him.
It is. It totally
Down on
is.
stage.
They ripped off American Pie.
It's crazy, but they did, dude. Like, there's so many times where I'm like, this came from the Glee handbook.
Yep.
This is literally just part of what they do. We won't mention it anymore. I think you guys understand.
Yeah, you get it. But like Stifler's like, what are you doing? He's like, dude, this is a completely untapped resource. I can play the sensitive angle here. They don't know me.
This was like I mentioned
As
earlier.
we mentioned earlier, yes, they do.
Or if they don't, how big is this random small
Fucking small
Michigan
Michigan
town
school.
supposed to be? Either way, it doesn't really make sense. This is our first time of getting to see the awkward Jim's dad moment, and that's all we can say. He doesn't have a name
he's
yet.
sitting in his room
right?
just
Like, it's
playing
Jim's
with the
dad. Yeah, he's
condoms
stretching
and
the
shit.
condom.
He's got like 4 of them open, just like la la la. I like playing with the stretchy
And then his
things.
dad busts in the door and he throws it into the
In the drawer, and
really
shit.
quick, like crazy quick.
I like that his dad's cool though. He's just like, look, you're getting into some weird shit. You're an adult. I brought you some porn to maybe like, so you can stay here
Look,
and do it.
I like that you say cool, but I'm going to tell you right now, this would have been uncomfortable as fuck.
But you got porn out of it.
If my dad, look, me,
My dad wouldn't have been weird about it. My dad would have just been like, here, read this. Leave
that
me
still
alone.
would have been kind of awkward for me. Like, look, dude, me and my dad were people that watched tons of movies together, and so obviously at a certain age, those movies might have had titties bounce across the screen, and it was still one of those things where titties would bounce across the screen, and we both kind of side eye each other, and then be back to the movie. But there would be that brief moment of,
Me and Dad did not watch many movies together. Christmas with the Duke, that was about it.
oh, we watched that was our
Like
thing.
John Wayne movies.
We watched tons of
Me and my
movies.
dad watched wrestling. That was what we watched.
Tons of movies.
Uh,
Anything and everything. But yeah, titties was that thing. So like I said, it would have been hard to deal with Dad coming into my room.
I'd be all like going through like, this is the female anatomy. If you just flip open to page 3 on the
this one,
on the Hustler.
this one is called Shaved. I think you understand what they're going for in this one.
This is more of a tropic theme. I guess she had like a palm tree.
Now,
shaved into
all
it.
of that was uncomfortable, and I understand if Jim would have stopped it. But then Jim stops it when his dad hits him with the, do you know what a clitoris is? And I was like, boy, stop. You need to listen.
Yeah, you need to learn about that one. You need to know exactly where that is.
Listen to this man, because again, we know now I've shared with you. He
Yep.
wrote the Bible, so he definitely knows what he's talking about. But beyond that, if the only thing he knows about the clitoris right now in his life is the shitty kind of public education me and you used to get about for sex,
Yep.
listen to your dad. He's probably going to
Yeah,
help
he's probably
you
going to know you and
understand
tell you what
something.
to do with it.
Yeah.
Knowing where it
not
is
just tell you
one
what it
thing.
is. Yeah. Not just say that's what it is. He's going to help you know why it's important. Right? So
It's
Jim
the
got
little
mad.
magic button.
If you ask me, Jim got mad at the wrong part of the
Yeah, he
conversation.
did.
He got mad at the actual useful part of the conversation. And was fine with, well, not fine,
Not
but
fine,
was
but, you know.
uncomfortably letting his dad talk during the part that didn't matter as much. He should have been like, I can get my own porn, but Dad, tell me about that.
Yeah, I've not heard that one. What's that and what is it for? Where do I find it?
Let's hear the experience, right?
Right?
It got too weird for Jim, so he runs out the room, and we see the dad.
He gets up to leave, and he's got one of the condoms stuck to the ass of his pants when he's leaving.
And so then his dad leans over to look in the fucking drawer, right?
Yeah.
And he opens his drawer and he sees the condoms.
Better
When
than a
he looks
tube
in,
sock.
when he looks in this time, that drawer is like all kinds of fucked up, right? Like it's just
Yeah.
like distressed and everything is thrown in
Junk
there.
drawer style.
I only point that out because later when this thing gets open, it looks like we can see the kink coming because he has a very well organized sex drawer later. Like it is, things are meticulously
placed in a certain spot.
And I was
got
like,
my condoms, I got my porn,
and
I
it's
got my
all
lube.
stuff given to him by his dad. And I was like, I don't know if this had
the family
desired.
conquering.
I don't know if this had the desired outcome that his dad was expecting.
Oh no, my dad has given me a complex.
Right? Like I feel like that. I have to be good enough.
I have to be good enough for daddy.
Um,
I wish I hadn't said that. Cut that.
Let's see.
Where the fuck are we?
Now it's where we get to see more of Finch and his weird meditating. It's when we it's when we actually see him golf. Like we've seen the putter, but we haven't seen him actually.
Yeah, he's actually
yet.
using
And
it.
so he's
Kev's
actually out there. He's putting. He's telling. It's him and Kevin.
Kev's like, dude, putt golf your plan. He's like, no, but on that note, I need you to just agree with everything you hear about
if anybody
me.
asks you something, just
go with yes.
Go with
just yes. No
and
matter what it
he
is.
says that, and he's like, oh, his watch goes off. Time to go home. He's like, what? You know, Kev.
I got 16 minutes there and back. And it's like, I have to go take a shit.
You know this.
Learn to shit at school. You're a senior. Have you seen
seen
the
the
state of these facilities lately? I
The
mean, I
man's
get
not
it.
wrong.
I don't like having to do this
Public
either,
bathrooms.
but I'm not
But
going
if
all
you gotta
the way.
go, you gotta
Yeah,
go.
I'm like, I'm not going all the way fucking home.
Well, and not to mention, like, he's just now a senior.
Yeah.
Where was he going the 3 previous years of high school? Because we find out later that this is going to be his first time ever pooping at the high school.
Yeah.
How was he leaving? Because 16 minutes
Dude,
by
how's the cab
16 minutes by
services?
scooter.
Yeah. Maybe just left earlier and biked it when he was younger.
While you had to poop.
Ooh, rollerblade.
You know what I'm saying?
You
Like
can do the
if
squat,
you start
right?
you're hunkered down and you start pedaling, you're pooping your pants, man.
If you rollerblade, you could do that like knee together squat. You know, ball yourself up, really hold it.
Yeah, so as soon as he says that though, he bolts because he got the.
He's got to go
timer
take a
goes off.
shit. This chick walks
Well,
up.
you could see him the whole scene. Though.
Yeah, they're back there giggling
3
about
girls
something.
talking to each other. They're pointing at you,
Pointing
you
right
can
at him
literally
and
see
shit,
it. Yeah,
like,
they're-
there he is. Oh my god.
And one of them walks up straight to Kevin and is like, "Is it true what they say? Is what true?"
Like you're in the locker room with him. Has he got a big?
He bathes in his underwear, or he
Oh,
brings
wait,
a
hang on.
he brings a swimsuit to bathe in. That's what he says.
And then he catches himself. He's like, "Oh wait,
I'm
wingman,
sorry.
wingman." Yeah, totally true. Huge dick.
Well, he didn't even say that. He just goes, "Yeah, no, yeah, that's true.
It's true.
He didn't even say huge. He just says, "Yeah, that's true." And she turns around. She does the
The hand
she
gesture.
looks at
She's
her
like,
friends,
"Oh my god!"
and it's this big.
Oh.
And he said nothing like that. He just said,
So
sure.
Finch's plan is actually genius. He just
Well, it is,
drops
and we don't
rumors.
even really know what it is yet. Like the full circle doesn't come in
Yeah.
until way later. Like the
Right
full
now, it's just
payoff.
like, oh, he spread the rumor.
Right
his dick's
now, we
big.
just know somehow this rumor is starting. Well, again, it can't be him, right? Like that's the thing. You can't
You can't start your own rumor about yourself. No one will believe you.
So that's just it. Like he knows what the plan is, but he doesn't know how he's pulling said plan
Like,
off. Who is helping?
How'd you
him?
get this
Because
going?
that's what he doesn't get. Right. That's the missing piece to the puzzle.
Yeah, we don't find that out till
way later. That's what I was getting at. Like we only tangentially know what he's doing, but like the full plan doesn't come into view for a long time.
It's a really good plan.
Now is when Kevin calls his brother.
Yeah, because he needs to find out how to give his girl an orgasm.
Played by Casey Affleck. Ben Affleck's little brother.
Little bro.
In a small part, like this is, I mean, blink and you'll miss it. You could totally miss this phone conversation.
It's just making a phone call, really.
Well, and we don't, all that happens is when he makes the phone call, first off, he's a perv, and his brother tries to test him to make sure he's not a perv, and his brother lets him pass anyway.
Yep.
Bullshit.
Yeah, a little bullshit.
His brother should have been like, no, you were definitely pervy first.
Yeah.
Which means you don't deserve the book.
It's like, you don't love this chick, you just feel like you need to return the favor that's still...
No, returning the favor was fine. He didn't want to give it to someone who only wanted to have sex.
Yeah.
If you want to make sure that they're getting off too, that was what he told him. And his brother said, that's a noble cause.
I guess, but you still just want sex.
That I agree, but again, the point being that you weren't on it wasn't a personal
not just
quest.
gonna hit it and quit it kind of guy.
It wasn't a personal quest just to get your rocks off.
I got mine, I hope you got yours kind of deal.
That's what he said. That's why he said it was okay. And I'm saying, no, when you heard the first part, the brother should have been like, executive decision, no, bro.
Nope, shutting it down, can't help you.
Right? But he says, I'll let you know about this.
I'm gonna let you in.
Tells him about the Bible.
The Bible.
Book in the school. Been passed down
this
generation to generation.
This massive tome
year
of
to
sex
year,
knowledge.
Right? Started from, he's like, I don't even know, 2 guys that went to Amsterdam or something like that.
Yeah, some sex manual they brought back from Amsterdam.
And every year, they give it to one student and they add
who
to
they
it.
find worthy. Just
and
make
now
sure
it's
you
just
put
a
it back,
collection.
right? It's huge. It's like a foot thick.
All the knowledge that all of us have gathered over the years. It's so insane. And he's like, okay, well, I'm going to use this book.
Yeah, I'm going to flip through it. I love this book when he flips through it.
First thing he sees,
know your enemy.
Know your enemy.
It's a bunch of dildos and vibrators and shit. And then he flips over to, what's it called? The tornado twister tongue maneuver?
Tongue tornado twist. I don't remember.
Yeah, use your tongue like a tornado and really get it in there.
Well, the first time we see the page, we don't know which one he does. Because remember later on, when he's actually in the room to do it, he flips down the extra paper. And that's the name you see that he calls it by. So that's what I'm saying. Like, when we first see the page, we're technically seeing the original move, not the one he does, which is an alternate version.
But the updated version.
Yeah, and it had its own name. Like, again, this book is thorough, dude. The people didn't even replace the page. They said, no. Through expertise and trial and error, we found the top one needs these adjustments.
Take your left thumb, place here, rotate counterclockwise in a vigorous motion.
It is a lot. It's kind of crazy. Now we see a little bit of Oz and the Glee Club again, right? Or excuse me, the choir group. This is when he gives her the line, I'm not just a kick-ass lacrosse player. I'm also on the football team.
I hate it when people try to pigeonhole me.
Right. Stop it.
Yeah, shut the fuck up, dude.
Well, and again,
he's doing the weird sex operator voice when he's talking to her, too.
And I said we wouldn't do this again, but this is literally out of the Glee playbook. This is
really
exactly what Finn said.
It does.
Finn was on 2 teams, football and basketball. He has this exact speech.
With Rachel.
I have to stop bringing
Go
it
watch
up.
the first season of Glee. It's basically this, and they ripped off these 2 interactions,
how bad
right?
They stole from American Pie, and I know that sounds insane, but
for having only 3 actual choir scenes, they managed to get
a
whole TV show.
A lot out of it for sure.
They should go back and thank American Pie, every fucking one of them.
Then he's talking to her because again she's acting like he doesn't really know who he is, and he's just like, what kind of stuff do you do for fun? And she's just like, I hang out with friends the same as you. And you're like, yeah, dumbass. Again, you're the one that wanted to set up for us. The school is so big, people don't know
each other.
So if it's so big, people don't know you, they don't know your friends, then you don't know her friends.
Right?
Why do you assume she just sits at home?
She just sits there and stares at the wall going,
I
wonder what other people are doing right now.
It's just like, God damn it, dude, you are really stupid. Like, really,
nobody does
really
anything
stupid.
unless it's within his proximity, right?
I guess.
He's the main character
now,
of his video game, and everybody else is NPCs.
Now's when we slide to our apple pie scene. This is horrible. We don't need to spend a lot of time here. You guys know.
My biggest problem. Sure, fine. You want to put your dick in something weird, whatever. Why do it in the kitchen?
No, I say the same thing. Also,
go to your room.
Well, also later on, we had like Jim's dad says to him, "Well, I guess we'll have to tell her that you ate it all." And it's like, so is the implication here that Jim didn't already have an excuse lined up for why the whole pie had to be gone?
Pie had to be gone.
He didn't already have that thought.
You have a built-in excuse.
If
his mom left him a note, "Hey Jim, I made your favorite apple pie.
Take it to your room.
Fuck the pie."
Well, I mean,
and then throw it away.
I'm not trying to say that I think I would have fucked a pie.
I'm just saying, but if that's what you're gonna do it in your room. If
you're gonna make the decision to do it right.
Do it privately behind a locked door.
Let's also point out,
not in public feeding areas.
The note only mentioned that the mom was going to be gone for the night. Didn't say
both of us. About Dad.
Didn't say both of us are gone.
No.
Didn't say it's date night, right?
Poor Dad.
But beyond that, like you said, the kitchen seems dumb, and you were only saying that because of public spaceness of the kitchen, right?
Yeah.
Looking at their kitchen from other scenes,
there's a huge
there's
bay
lots
windows.
Of fucking windows.
Those huge windows.
The living room windows, I think, can see their kitchen the way the house is laid out.
Anybody walking down the street can see you putting your dick in a pie.
There are a million reasons why this was stupid.
Nope, doesn't stop him though.
Oh no, he raw dogs that thing.
His poor dad walks in and he's just cut it all up on him. It's not what it looks like.
Horrible, dude.
Blech. But that made the whole fucking movie. That was like the whole thing. Everybody took away from it.
That's why it's named after this. That's why it's why we all talk about it.
That's why we still talk about it.
Yeah, it was outrageous.
Jason
comedy.
Biggs even makes fun of it later in Jay and Silent Bob. He's just like, "I'm the pie fucker.
Everybody knows me." That's true. Now's when we see our first lacrosse match in the movie.
Yeah,
I want to point this out only because this might have been the first lacrosse match I ever saw in my life.
Looks brutal.
Well,
it looks like they don't have a lot of
lacrosse just
padding.
isn't a game here.
Yeah, we don't have that here.
That's it's more of a New England and maybe even a West Coast thing, but like Midwest lacrosse isn't a big sport. Maybe even North, I guess Michigan. So maybe, but yeah, here I think so because I think it's French, so French trappers.
Ah, yeah,
Michigan would make sense.
Nice. Leave that.
Way to use some history. But yeah, so. But here, lacrosse wasn't a thing. It wasn't a thing shown in many movies.
No.
Like, I knew it existed, but I definitely didn't know what it looked like. Right?
This and
like
Archer.
Abercrombie shirts were already rocking the fucking fake lacrosse team fucking thing. So I had seen the net
thing
pole.
Yeah.
For lack of
Didn't know what the hell it was for.
Well, I knew it was
you just catch the ball.
I knew
with
it was
it.
for the sport,
yeah.
but I didn't know how the sport worked. Right? Like, to me, when I would see the lacrosse thing, I would be like, "Oh, polo." Right? Because isn't polo is the same kind. It's a net. You either play
highlight the thing with you got the little scoop.
No, that one is like the kids game. That's like the little plastic scoops, but
scoop.
You throw it 90 miles an hour.
And it's made out of stone and you can kill somebody.
That's different. And that is in The Substitute. I love that fucking game. And I love that fucking scene in the movie. We got stuff. Sorry. But yeah, I definitely had never really seen lacrosse. I saw more lacrosse.
Looks more brutal than you would
movie.
think, doesn't it, dude? He takes a pretty good bump here.
And I know
like
this now.
With sticks.
Well, now I know this. I've seen enough of it. Is definitely what it is. That's how you play it. Like you can. I don't think it's legal to hit people with a stick to trip them, but people do. Is a common like if the ref doesn't see it.
Oh fuck yeah! Dude.
It's like hockey. You don't high sticking is illegal, but if you can get away with high sticking,
I'm getting you in the throat if I can.
You're gonna high stick them. But yeah, it's definitely a situation like that.
Heather shows up to watch Oz play because she felt bad for trying to pigeonhole him earlier.
No, she came because she was using this moment to ask him to prom. It wasn't even because it felt bad. Right. And so as soon as the game's over, she walks up, dirty him, everybody else in the team still standing there, asks him to prom. Ballsy, I'll give her.
Yeah, she does. Not many girls do things like that.
Well, certainly not to
a jock on the field right after
with
with Stiffler standing right there because he jumps up and is like, "What are you doing here?"
I will give her credit, and she even handles that well.
Yeah, she's like, "Well, I showed up to ask."
Yeah, handles it well.
Prom.
And then she gets mad. Like, right, she walks off the field after he said yes. She's happy still.
Yeah.
Gets off field. Stiffler is being Stiffler.
Yeah. being a
Oz
douche.
does nothing to condone the
No.
behavior. He doesn't tell him to stop. I will say that, but he does not condone the behavior.
He's even looking at Stiffler like, dude, stop it. Kind
right?
of
He
shaking
doesn't
his head.
actually
Like,
say it, and I'll
fucking
give you
shut
that.
up. But it's his buddy, and that's what he does.
She walks out of there with the face as if he had just
Betrayer.
been saying it himself.
Right? He betrayed me.
Later on, when she brings it up to him, she says it to him.
You
like,
made fun of me.
like he had done it, and
He's
he
like,
didn't.
no, I didn't.
And then it resolves itself without him doing. Like, I only want to point this out right now because I feel like it saves us a lot of time on his story. His story resolves itself with him doing nothing.
Yep.
Right? She gets mad for no reason. Then she realizes she was wrong for no reason without him. He doesn't do anything to help prove that to her.
All she does is she walks up on him like he's practicing
Yes.
for the choir thing, and
Which
she's like,
that
"Oh, he
proves
is actually
nothing,
trying."
Right? And then it's resolved.
Yeah.
So like I said, we will still mention when the scenes happen, but I don't think we need to dive into it because this
No.
is the weirdest one because nothing really happened and nothing
Just kind
really
of
got
fixes
resolved.
itself because she just shows up at his dad's sandwich shop like, "We're gonna do that choir thing, right?"
And he's like, yeah,
"Yeah,
of course.
I thought you were
because
mad
I
at
never
me."
quit.
Yeah.
Right? And it's just like, okay. I'm glad you're in agreement with me.
Yes.
That
It was
it
the easiest,
solved
It
itself.
was the easiest
Like,
argument ever. He didn't have to do shit. He just went to work.
Everybody else did things, and Oz, the dumb guy, just
Just kind of stumbled
existed.
through it. Yeah.
He just existed, and everything was okay for him, which is probably good because he is dumb,
Yeah, that's
but
it,
it is very weird. Let's see. The only other thing we need to mention is during that scene is the first time we hear mention of the post-party.
Yeah, Stiffler says like
the post-prom
yeah,
party.
because Oz does this whole like, "Man, Stiffler, you shouldn't be so insensitive all the
Yeah.
time," and he's like, "Whatever, dick. Don't forget we're having my party."
And so the main reason I mention that is because this is one of our subtle nods to the fact that it is in Michigan. He says
On Lake Michigan?
Yes. So it's
His
our
cottage.
first time.
He calls it
Yeah.
a cottage. Even
Yeah.
cottage, my ass. That's a mansion at the end of this movie.
When she's walking away, again, this is why I have such a problem with her. And like we already addressed how dumb this whole scene is. As she's walking away, before she gets mad at him, he even tells the guys, "I just love her in those cute little sweaters."
Yeah, they're just like, "Man, you liking the choir chick?" He's like, "Yeah, I just like the cute little sweater she wears." That's adorable.
right.
Nothing wrong with that.
Again, this one will
She
be
got
added.
mad because Stiffler was making fun of him, and I guess he didn't punch him in the face.
This will be edited this time, but again, that is literally just Glee. That is
Just
literally fucking
just-
Rachel and her fucking outfits,
Oh
and
my
fucking
God.
Finn says it.
Oh my God, it totally is.
I'm telling you, dude. When I'm saying this, I
They
mean
just
it.
took Oz and Heather's relationship and stretched it over 12 episodes.
Yeah, dude. Now is when we finally see Kevin get to the room with
With Vicky, he's like, I want to
he's
make
made
it up to you.
and he pulled some bullshit. I'm gonna
How do you
promise
magic this
It
room?
was it was in the Bible, right?
Yeah.
The apology, the way to apologize,
The way to
and get her to
apologize,
accept it.
totally.
And so he uses that knowledge to get her to let him go to the room.
How do you get the book in the room?
Oh, it's in his backpack. They went there straight after school.
I guess. But it's a huge fucking book.
Well, it is, but he's got it's a backpack. I mean, how big's a book got to be to
I
not
just
fit
like
in your
how
backpack?
he just pulls it out from under the bed.
No, that
Shit,
part's
like it was
weird.
like
When did he
pre-play-
slide it
when,
under
yeah,
to
like
the
when
bed?
did it get there?
That's a better question than when did he get it to the room? Like, I can believe he got to the room.
How do you
easy.
get it under the bed without her noticing
That's-
this giant foot thick book?
But so he does get her up there. This is when we can see he is doing the tongue tornado for sure. This is the secondary words. The top one might have been the tongue twister, and
Yeah.
then they updated it, right? I'm not sure.
This is the 2.0 right
Yeah.
here.
And then he starts going to town, and she's enjoying it.
Oh, she's having a great time.
He tells her, like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
You need to calm down. Your parents are downstairs.
Does your door at least have a lock on it?
No.
Well, we don't even actually know that.
Probably not.
She
No,
doesn't get to answer him
no,
because
she
she goes
just
right
keeps-
back into, yeah.
She even tells him, like, don't stop, right?
And so he said,
he's
okay.
killing it.
He said, okay. I'm gonna
And
keep doing
luckily, Dad doesn't come
it.
in
He's about to open the door.
right when she's
And
screaming, I'm
she-
coming
Because he was supposed to go get her for dinner.
for dinner.
Perfectly timed.
Perfect.
Thankfully for that dad.
Right. I don't want to have to kill a man today.
Yeah, that I would say, and that's the end of the moment. We don't see no more of it.
Nope, that's it.
That's good.
He did it. Good job. He got her
He
off.
successfully did everything. He didn't get caught. He didn't get shot.
Yeah.
Everything's good for him.
Oh, yeah.
Now is another one of our awkward Jim and his dad talks.
He wants to talk about masturbation.
Let's talk about masturbation. And he has every right to, because right now, so far, he has seen scrambled porn, tube socks, apple pie.
Yeah.
If it's not the time to talk to him about what normal masturbation is, I don't know when is.
Because he's even like, look, I used to do it. I never put it in any pastries.
Well, I love that he hits him with the, remember, it can be fun, but it's not as fun as a real game. Right?
Like you playing tennis and you smack it against the wall.
Like,
but
that's fun.
You really want a partner.
But the real fun,
partner,
the real fun is to play with someone else. And then he even mentions his brother, right?
Yeah.
And I swear what we're not hearing is that his brother had a porn addiction, right? And he's wanting to make sure that Jim is not going down that deviant
weird
lifestyle.
Yeah.
So he's like, please find a person, because if you do this too much, you're going to end up like him.
Because he did it like 6 times a week.
So please stop.
Yeah.
Again,
I have to save my son from sexual deviancy.
Again, uncomfortable, dude.
They all are, but they're so funny. I love Eugene Levy. He's so great. What's after that? Oh, we're going back to school. We cut back to the school and Jim.
This is when Kevin is telling them about what he
did, and Oz is like, "Does your tongue cramp up?" No, but you get a little lightheaded.
My favorite part of this is that Michelle, Allison Hannigan, is sitting in front of them, and the face she makes looking at Kevin,
right?
She is just like,
oh hey, yeah.
It's our first subtle hint
that she might be dirty,
to who she is, right? Like, and less greasy.
Oh yeah, she does. She looks a lot better in this shot.
Like I said, as the movie goes, they progressively take the grease away.
She just whips around. She's just like, "You did what now?
You did what to who for how many jelly beans? Stop it."
Yeah, jelly beans.
Have you never heard that?
No, that's
I say that all the time.
That's
you did what to who for how many jelly beans?
At least 3, man. You gotta get 3 jelly beans minimum.
Let's see. So, we also see that Finch's reputation is starting to grow.
Oh yeah, this is the one where like the chick's just like, yeah, he's the guy with the tattoos of the phoenix and the fire and all this other shit.
Tattoos. I was like, stop right now.
They're all just like, how the fuck is he doing this? Is like, I don't know, man. Just you can ask any chick. They've got a story about him.
Just ask.
But that means that poor Jim's hanging behind, right? Like he's got to catch up.
And this is one of the few times in the movie that the timing was like, this is too dumb magical.
Yeah.
Because they walk into the hallway and say, "You're falling behind."
And Nadia
say, Jams. She does not call him James.
It's Jams.
She calls him Jams.
Jams, you's good at the world history. You teach me, yes?
I have ballet practice first, but I can change clothes at your house.
Yes, you can. Absolutely, you can.
Naked Nadia in his house. This guy didn't even think twice.
Nope. I would have. Hell yeah. The next part I'm going to think twice about and tell my friends, no, you creepy bastards. Because it goes from that to them in the library, right? Mm-hmm. And Stiffler's just like, you're gonna have her naked in your house, man. Yeah. You should show us all. You should broadcast that shit over the internet.
Yeah.
No, don't do that. That's how you go to jail, especially nowadays. Why was this okay back then?
I don't know. Yeah. So after we leave that moment in the school, before we really move on, we see Heather show up and she tells Oz, "Fuck you, we're not going."
Yeah, I thought you were cool, but you're a jerk. Oh no, wait, you're a jock.
And it was,
or other way around,
or whatever.
Strike that, reverse.
Either way, it doesn't even matter. It's so stupid because
whoever wrote it thought it was such a good line.
And the judgment was wrong. Like
he didn't do anything.
She put so much on him that wasn't there that it's insane. So it's just like, okay, don't be wrong. Oz is hurt, and that's good. Evolution.
Yeah,
he is evolving, as everybody should be, except for Kevin because he's a fucktard. He won't.
Yeah, fuck Kevin. We don't like Kevin. Then we go to the library and Stiffler talks Jim into broadcasting Nadia over the internet. Which all the rest of his friends are like, yeah, no, let's do that. Even Finch, who's supposed to be like the sophisticated, mature-ish kind of guy, is like, no, yeah, let's totally do that against her will and consent.
It's so illegal.
Yes.
Like Stiffler mentions it and nobody says, that's wrong.
Yeah.
Nobody says, that's a federal crime. Nobody says anything. The other thing that's in the middle of all this is Oz mentions that he's lost inspiration to sing.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know if I want to do it anymore.
Right? And you're just like,
We don't
especially
care.
in the middle of the
Right?
conversation that it came out in. You're like, Oz?
Are you
Are
not
you-
paying attention
are you
to the
here?
possible felony that's
Are
happening
you here with the rest of us right now?
We're about to commit crimes. Are you in?
Literally less than a decade after this movie would come out, this is far more likely to be the plot line to an episode of SVU than it is
Right?
to be the plot line
Where
to
the-
a teen comedy.
Right, where the kids got together and like broadcasted the girls' locker room over the internet without them
Yes,
knowing.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's so outrageous that this is a comedy, but a couple of years down the line, and this would
It's a felony.
they would have been like, guys, we
Yep.
want to make sure people know
This is
not
Law
to
and
do
Order
this.
now.
Yeah. But it's true, and it needed to be said. And we want to make sure you guys understand it.
Yeah,
We're not
don't-
condoning. We
don't-
understand
we
the
laughed.
wrongness.
We know it's wrong. We probably knew it was wrong at the time, but we were just like funny.
Well, the movie does a good job of playing the funny,
Yeah.
right? Like, because she does end up being okay with it. That doesn't make it okay. That's
Yeah.
the key thing that needs to happen here. You need to understand if there's no consent beforehand, it is never okay, even if they say, oh, that doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
Consent first is always important. We want to make sure that is stated.
Out there and stated.
Now let's get
There's
into
our official
the
stance.
now let's get into the raucousness of the situation. so she goes up to his house, right?
Yeah.
She gets to his room. She exactly like she told him.
Yeah.
I need to change.
And Jim's already got the
he's
camera set up and
He
all
knows
this
it
shit.
looks right. He sends the invite.
How did-
Fucktard.
How do you not see that?
Yeah, well, because this is the day and age where when you accidentally hit send all, it shows
you.
Like today, you can do it and it won't show you every single name.
Yeah.
Back then, it showed every name moved into his send list.
Right? Nope.
No.
Whatever. But
But so he accidentally sends it to everybody. He lets her start. As soon as he shuts the door to his room, poof, he's running.
Running. Got to get to Kev's house,
I love
right?
this. This is one of those things that we got to explain to those younger kids, right? So this is an era where cell phones couldn't do internet. Wi-Fi barely existed. Probably not in a
Yeah,
home
probably
like
not
this.
yet.
So even if he would have owned a laptop, which again he wouldn't, because the family computer was in his bedroom, and in '99, I promise you that's what it was.
Yep.
That was the family computer, and he lucked out by being an only child and got it in
And
his
got
room.
it room. Yep.
Yeah.
This one.
'Cause this was the
Mom
era
and Dad
of the
come in, be
this
like,
was
"Can
the
I use
era
your
of the
computer?"
this was
Yep.
the era of the family computer in the living room or a family room, right? Like you know, I know
Straight
you know
up-
what I'm talking about.
Straight up computer room, right?
Yeah, this is that time frame. So there's no like so he didn't have a laptop. We know that. If this computer is in his room, he did not own a laptop.
Yep.
And even if he did, there would have been no way for him to be on the internet
'Cause he would have had to have
outside of the
plugged it
bedroom,
in, right?
So the only way
Is
you know,
to
like, don't-
run
Don't feel
down
like they,
the street.
Like I know, like some younger people might see this and be like, they forced that. He didn't have to do that. No.
No,
Back
he
in the
did.
day, he did.
Absolutely.
He had to run to whoever was the closest friend.
just happened to be Kev. It was just a block away, it looked like.
Yeah. So good on him.
It looked hot, too, when he was
Yeah.
running down the street. Just
Well,
the
he's
heat
also
wave
wearing the sweater
and the
vest.
sweat and shit. Oh,
Right?
God.
He was wearing like that classic 90s
These
thing of a
big-
t-shirt with a sweater vest thing
Yeah.
on top.
Fuck.
Come on now.
Good on him for making it in good
But so
time.
he
though.
makes it there and they start watching. Like I said, this is that moment. This is the Fast Times at Ridgemont High. This is why we will always know Shannon and Elizabeth's name, like Gen X will always know Phoebe Cates' name. This is
Titties.
what it is.
Titties.
Nice titties.
Nice. The best titties. Fantastic.
But then the scene starts to go further, right? We're not just watching a naked
Yeah.
her changing.
She goes and starts looking through Jim's
She
stuff.
opens his
She
drawer, and
finds
this is
the
when
stash.
well, this is when I said his drawer is now the drawer of a sex freak.
It's very organized.
It's very organized. He's got his lube up in the corner, his condoms
Condoms,
beside it, porn in a stack right here. The dad
Cat of nine tails tucked in the corner.
The dad may have had the wrong
yeah.
outcome from what he tried to do here.
You made it worse.
But so she pulls out the magazines.
Starts having a good old time.
Leave it to Finch to see this and be like, she's reading the articles and be so turned on by it. Like
She reads the articles. Oh
like
my
we couldn't
God.
see him, but I feel like he was rubbing his nipple
He
when
was.
said it.
Fucking-
She's reading the article.
Having to do the adjustment.
Right.
You know?
Well, he was. Did you notice him? He was the only one sitting cross-legged.
Ah, yeah.
So he
trying to
was
hide.
the one that was definitely the most affected.
Just tuck it in your belt. It's fine.
Ladies out there, if you don't know that, if you
It's
see
the best
a guy
way to hide it.
sitting cross-legged in a weird situation,
He's got a
he's
boner.
probably hiding something.
He's pitching. Can't
Just-
help it.
Sorry to rat you guys out, but it is what it
Here's
is.
somebody hate comments. How dare you ruin our secrets?
Yeah, so she starts touching herself.
Yeah.
It's getting wild.
Yeah, and Jim and everybody's like, man, Kev is like, if you had a shot, dude, it is now.
Well, I want to
Get
point
your
out,
ass over there.
right now, we know everybody else is seeing this.
They don't
They
yet.
don't know.
No, that happens here in a minute. As soon
But-
as
well,
Jim leaves.
The main reason I want to bring it up, though, is because it gives us our fucking cameo. Did you not notice this?
No, I didn't.
The band? The people with the monkey. You didn't notice who they were?
No.
It's Blink 182.
Oh shit! Shut up.
It is literally all of Blink 182. They are the people with the monkey.
That makes that even funnier. The part when he
Yeah.
here in
The
a,
guy.
yeah, here in a minute when Jim does all his stuff and shit, there's one guy. Seriously, he's just like, "Hey, you've done that," and it was from Blink 182. That makes it even funnier.
But yeah, so that's the main reason I want to stop, because we get our first cameo. The only, it's only during this little while we're watching this porn online scene. But yeah, we get Blink 182 with a monkey, with a monkey
for no reason.
But then we get the spot, like he runs back home, like you said, and while he's running home, his buddies get the phone call from Stiffler.
Oh, Shermanator.
Oh, Sherman, that's right.
Yeah,
that's
Sherman
right. 'Cause
calls.
he's
He was
the
like,
computer geek.
Yeah, he's like, you guys fucked up. He sent that to everybody in the school.
We only see men's reactions, though. Did you notice this? Because they knew if they were showing us a woman's reaction to what was going on, that it would bring the reality to it.
Yeah,
right?
we don't get a.
Because she would be upset and offended, and it would make all of us not laugh. The laughter would be gone. We would all be like, "Oh yeah, this is fucked up."
Yeah, this is messed up.
They were crafty with the fact that they said everybody, but only showed us guys.
Yeah, it's not until you see the group of girls until Jim starts doing his bit, and then you see the girls.
Yeah, so you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's smart. That was smart.
Because again, it would take you out of it. You would totally be like, "Oh, this is."
Yeah, the girls are going to be like, "What the fuck?"
Since we do find out she is okay with what's happening,
everything apparently.
Well, because she even talks to him later after she knows it went out. After she knows what happened,
so
she is definitely okay.
They do it again at the end of the movie.
So again, it's not a secret. She is definitely okay.
Nobody's getting sued here.
She's definitely okay with all of it. But yeah, they wanted to wait until we knew that about the character before we saw women, so that way they could get away with not having them be offended.
Yeah, that's smart.
It worked.
It did.
I don't know if it's smart. It's just trickery.
I mean, keep the lawyers off your ass.
Yeah. It definitely did its job. But so she then while that's going on, like we said, he runs home, and when he gets home, he runs in the room. He's like,
"Okay, you need an extra hand?"
And at first, you think she's gonna be like,
"Dude, what the fuck? Get the hell out!"
Because she acts that way a little bit, right? But it's all a segue into. You gotta dance for me.
Well, you've seen me naked. Now I want to see you.
The whole time, though, when she's giving him the first part, the third degree, I was like, that's so fucked up, though. For you to be at his house and decide to do that in his room, knowing he's downstairs. If
you're
gonna
come back at any minute.
Well, you're gonna tell me you have no interest in him, that would be fucked up. That would be the weirdest sexual kink for a 17-year-old girl to have developed already. Like, I like getting off on guys I have no desire
interest in
while they're secretly not in the room. Weird. I'm not judging her for it.
If that's
it is weird.
It's fine. My biggest problem is after she's like, "I want you to strip."
She seems so bored.
And then she says slowly. And then proceeds to put on the fastest dance music ever.
Well, but then also, like
and
I
then
said, watch her, she's so bored.
As
he
fuck.
starts dancing, and it's not even just that she's looking at the magazine; it's the face she's
just
making.
kind of la la la.
And then finally, he gets the shorts off, and that's when she's
now
like,
she has the attention.
All right,
He pulls the chair over.
Well, now's when we get it bad.
Poor guy.
He can't control himself.
Nope.
We'll just say instant release. We'll leave it at that. Right? That's a non-offensive way to say this.
He blows it.
Yeah. Well, that's
as
even the line.
Stiffler says.
Yeah, that's what he tells his little brother.
He blew it.
He blew it. But
twice.
Well, not right now. Just once. Let's give him
just
this little
once.
build up.
He
He pulls off the magic move.
Yeah, the magic redirect.
But
she
really,
was
it's not
gone, right?
No, as adults, that would be the magic move, right?
Yeah.
But I want to say, as a high school student, they played this off like all the people watching the video, and they're like, "Oh man, he fucked up," and I'm like, "Whatever." This is high school. They both would have laughed a little bit about the fact that happened, and then they still would have gotten in.
Yeah, probably.
Like exactly what we see happen.
Yeah.
Right. But Stifler's watching, and they're like, "Oh, he fucked up," and I'm like, "No, that's not real high school. Real high school is what we see." You're all inexperienced, both of you. You know what I mean? Like, you're not judging the other person yet. You're not at a point. As adults, maybe there might have been.
Yeah,
some,
you're fucking 40 and that happens to you. I'm gonna laugh my ass off.
Yeah, there's some judgment. But right here, this should have been exactly like what we saw, and he pulls it off. He
does.
Right? He gets
re-engages,
he redirects and gets her back.
Pulls
interested.
the porn back. He's like, "You like the magazines?"
And she even said that. She goes, "Well, I do like your magazines," and I was like, "Well, that's a weird way to say I'm staying."
Yeah. All right. I
like you.
You
I like
haven't
your
seen
magazines.
this one. You haven't seen The Hustler. This is a good one. This is where they spread their legs and shit.
And so she's like, "Okay."
Remember that was a big thing.
Yeah. Well, and then she crawls on top of him, or starts to.
Yeah.
And again, literally everybody,
Again?
girls, guys, is
Finch,
that even possible?
Finch is like, "Is that even possible?"
I agree with
It was,
him. Is that
it
even
was
possible?
within less than a minute,
Is that
dude.
even possible?
That's a quick reload.
With no action. Well, I'm fine with the reload, but to do it that way, without touching
it,
that's the part where I'm like, I feel like the second time is way less likely for no touching to make it happen.
She would have at least had to have touched it.
That's what I'm saying.
Just
I've got no science to back this up, guys.
She booped it. Boop.
We've got no science to back that up. I'm just saying I feel like that's
Yeah, you at least got to touch it, right? On the second one.
We almost missed the good line though when it's all starting as she pulls her underwear down. I believe shaved
is the
expression. So it was so funny just because of the magazine.
Yeah, just holy shit, man.
Well, no, that's the line you hear every fucking one of the high school kids.
Yeah.
All of the reasons this is a crime, all in unison are like,
yeah.
But yeah, once this is done, everybody sees, everybody knows. The girls are laughing, the guys are laughing. He goes to school the next day.
I would not have.
My problem here is, did you notice the way they edited this? We don't see his friends tell him.
No.
Right? And when he walks to school, he seemed like he didn't understand why everybody was laughing at him at first. I feel like we didn't see a scene and they had to edit it out because they knew it would tell us they didn't tell him, that they let him go to school.
They just let him go to school.
And that they had to take that out so that way it's ambiguous on when he found out. But go back, watch it one more time. Look at his face when like the first guy is giving him we know is not a peace sign is a 2. But
twice.
His face is literally like he doesn't understand right now. He's not processing.
Doing?
And if that happened and your friends told you it went to everybody, you would understand.
Yep.
You wouldn't have a single moment of doubt.
Immediately turned around with the fuck on.
I feel like they had done it and then somebody after they had filmed it was like, guys, no way his friends wouldn't tell him.
Yeah,
no way his friends would let him walk blind into school that way.
Yeah, there's no way. They'd be like, as soon as she left, they would just be like calling him like, yeah, man, this was all over the internet.
Well, and then we immediately find out once he gets to his group of friends, they're like, man, that's so fucked up though.
I mean, what's
going
got a
on?
shot, right? You know?
No, she's her family back in Europe, they found out.
And so she's already back on a plane.
She's on a plane
now,
right now.
So that's not happening.
This is when we get some more of the confusion about, is this a competition? Is this a pact? Are they helping each other? Are they bagging each other for not succeeding?
Right.
Because Kevin pulls this out, right? Starts to talk about it again. Everybody starts to get a little bit mad at him now.
It's
right?
like, dude,
rightfully fucking
yeah, it's
so.
like, all right, man, fuck you. You're the only one here with a girlfriend.
Well, because again, like, what is it? Jim starts to even say, like, I don't need people focusing on me and my fucking shortcomings, right? Like, he's like, come on now. Like, this isn't...
It's a good joke, though.
It was. It was. And I agree, because again, this was never supposed to be a contest. This was not supposed to be...
No, it was supposed to be
who
like...
can have sex by prom.
No, it's like, we're supposed to help each other. Like, I'm like... support structure,
and that is
rally.
Again, that's not what we got. Now we slide into the room. Right, the classroom. He's sitting by Allison. He's sitting by Michelle.
She's going on about band camp.
She's one line after the other. And this one time at band camp. And this one time at band camp. And again, if you remember the line, you know, and you're probably in your head, you're like, "Is this the time?"
Nope.
No. We
that
got
happens actually way later than you think. It's like the last thing.
But so he's hearing her, and he just realizes how cute it is, right?
And
Like you see him, you see it like the moment it happens.
Yeah,
he's just kind of looking at her like,
adorable.
"This is yeah." He's like, "This is great."
And she's just like, I noticed you're mad, and you're like, are you worried that we have a test and stuff? He's like, wait, are you seriously? You seriously don't know why I'm mad right now?
No, lying through her fucking teeth.
Yeah, she is. But he's like, oh, I like that. Do you want to go to prom with me? And she's like, are you serious? That would be really cool.
Because it'll be like this one time at band camp.
It'll be like this one time at band camp when we had a campfire. That was really cool. And I was like, oh my God, she can't help it.
He even rolled his eyes.
He did.
He was just like almost instant
what have I done?
regret. Yeah, like, holy shit, why did I do this?
This is the sub shop scene right after.
Yeah,
that,
no,
right?
this is the part where magically
Oz's problems are all fixed.
Yeah, he no longer has an issue at all.
No, she's not mad at him anymore. They're gonna do the duet
until she finds out. Game same day.
Yeah, that is a little bit of a problem.
But it doesn't mess their relationship up. I want to point out, they've solved that. That issue is no longer. It's just that she's like, oh, I wish you could be there. She doesn't say, we can't do this if you're not there.
Yeah.
He feels the guilt, though.
He does.
We only know that because it's supposed to let us see him.
He does have the most growth.
He does. For a story that technically he doesn't do anything.
Really do anything, but he does have...
His growth is just that he decides, I want to do things I like. And it happens to work out for everybody else attached to him because he's doing it. It's fucking dumb.
It's great. Like, the only thing that they really talk about in the subway is like, oh, we're going to college and neither one of us really know what we're going to do.
But we're going to be close to
But we're going to be close to each other, so that's cool.
Right? It's so dumb, dude.
His life is easy as fuck, isn't it?
Well, and this conversation proves that weird 90s, 2000 rhetoric of everybody has to go to college. Like, because he even starts it off with, I don't know why I'm going.
Why are you going? I don't
business.
know.
I don't know what I would do with that.
Yeah, we were all told that in the go to college.
And so I do.
And then we all went to college, and now we all have degrees that we know.
Well, I
don't know what to do.
I so appreciate that this movie shows that because they're showing it, and this is from a time where people didn't know that that's what society was doing. You're like, they're just doing it because this was them looking at the situation and saying this happens. Now we know that literally behind the scenes, they were actually doing that on purpose. Like just trying to make us all think that without any real reason.
Yeah.
For it. It's so crazy. But yeah, this is a perfect little like encapsulation.
A little microcosm.
Hearing
of it.
their conversation lets you hear how much neither one of them, she's even a smart kid, but she doesn't seem
it's like, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do.
Or what it's going to help me.
Or like why I should be doing this. But I've been told since I was in first grade.
So I'm going to
go to college.
Yeah. I do appreciate that it's there.
Those are our only options. Go to college, join the army. That was
it. So it's so nice. It gives us a little bit of vindication for like, like it's a good one to show
wasn't
people.
Just us.
Like this is the way they treated it back then.
This is the way it
kids
was.
today need to understand like how good they got it with most parents being like, you don't have to make your decision.
Find a trade.
We didn't get told that. We got told if you're not going to college, you're an idiot.
Learn a
you're
skill.
a big dumb.
Oh, you have no skills or any idea what you're going to do with your future? Go to college. That'll solve it.
While they're talking, oh wait, not yet. Sorry, I almost was about to say when we found out about MSU, but it's not. It's when we get to Stiffler here in a second.
Oh yeah, he gets rejected by the
so
chick.
this is Stiffler. We leave those two in their beautiful moment here in the nice diner.
Sub sandwiches.
Stiffler goes to ask out a girl.
She's holding out. She's hoping that Finch is going to ask her.
No, she's not even hoping that. That's what's so bad about it. It's not that she's even hoping Finch will ask her. Finch is going stag. I'm going to go stag too.
So I might have a shot.
That's the extra crazy part.
I am just going to stay single in the hopes.
Yes, dude.
To Stiffler even. The man. The myth. The Stiffmeister.
Yeah, it's
I love
kind of
it.
crazy.
I love this shit. He's just like, wait, that guy? And she's like, oh, I mean, it's okay. I mean, your scar's healed really good.
Yes,
And
this
shit.
is that part. This is that part where again, like you're
What?
like, holy crap! And we see Kevin. He's really trying to investigate finally, right? And so he asks them. I guess we don't really see how he figures it out, but he figures out it's Jessica. And he goes to Jessica, and he's like, "So what the fuck is going on?
What is going on?" She's
What
like,
is this shit?
Oh,
She paid me some money.
Finch paid me $200 to say we hooked up, and I mean, you know how high school is. It got out of hand. I love it. She's like, my favorite one. Did you hear about the Finch hooking up with the older woman? That's my favorite one.
So good,
right? It's a prophetic one too.
Yes,
right?
So good. During this though is when Stiffler mentions to Oz MSU.
Oh yeah,
we got the game at MSU.
The game at MSU.
So again, he had his magical moment with her the night before everything was fixed. He didn't tell her because he didn't remember. MSU game
is the same day as the choir competition.
God damn it! He never, as far as we know, tells her.
Yeah, he goes and
he
goes and tells her. And she acts like she's fine. She's like, no, it's okay. You go and play your game. I understand that it's important to you and stuff.
But she is mad.
But I hate it when women do this. If you're mad, be mad. Don't tell me it's okay and then be mad at me later. Be mad at me now. We can fight about it right now, whether or not I go do the game thing. Don't tell me I can go do something and then be mad at me later for it.
Again, I'm not gonna. This will be edited. That is literally Glee. Game at the same time?
Yeah.
Game at the same time as a competition?
The fucking first season, they just ripped off the whole first season from this movie.
I mean it. we got
leave it in. It's fine.
After this is when Stiffler gets his revenge.
He poisons poor Finch.
He comes up and he asks Kev, right? Like he's like, "Have you seen Finch?"
No.
Why?
I just say I think he's not going to have any problem shitting in public bathrooms anymore. Holds up the bottle of.
I slipped this into his mochaccino.
It's like,
when did he get that close? When did he get that close? You've watched this. That man's mochaccino is sitting next to him like a goddamn like a briefcase with a fucking handcuffs on it.
Always got his eyes on that shit.
But supposedly he did. And then we cut to Finch.
Poor Finch. He's bolting down the hallway looking for a bathroom.
No one deserves this.
No one does. All he was trying to do was get the rumor out that he was cool.
On his way. Again, it wasn't like we don't see the.
He wasn't actively out to fuck over Stiffler.
The rumor evolved on its own.
Yeah,
as far as we can tell. Right?
He didn't say he kicked Stifler's ass.
That's just where people.
That's just where it went.
He runs through the fucking whole building trying to get to a bathroom. Can't find one. First one he gets to. First one he gets to.
Holding it open right here, my good man.
Women's room,
of course. But it doesn't matter.
We hear the women in the bathroom, right?
They're talking about him.
I heard that it was Stifler's mom.
Mm-hmm. That's who he hooked up. That's the older woman. And the poor guy, you hear him, he's trying, he's fighting. He's biting his lip.
In all fairness, the girls fucking leave. Right? Before. Well, the one girl did accuse her friend
of farting because he farts.
Well, and it was raunchy, though. She looked at her friend and was like, "Was that you?" And her friend
Debbie.
was just like so mad. Like,
bitch, who the hell are you talking to?
But so they run out before knowing what's going on, right?
Yep.
That it's Finch in the bathroom. And he thinks he's safe. Did you see the smug walk he had as he
he's walked out like, oh my God, that's so much better. And then the applause and shit from everybody.
And he's just like, now I do think that part of that look he still feels because he was just like, I can shit in public. Because he even says later,
he
he's
does.
like, I'm over that fear.
I learned I can shit in public bathrooms later, right?
So I feel like he feels accomplished either way.
He really did, yeah.
He found the way to rise above regardless of the situation he got put into. Way to go,
find
Finch.
the silver lining, right?
Of the shithole.
Of the shithole.
Finally, we get game day.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no.
Is it game day?
Not yet. We get the conversation with Kevin and Vicky where she basically finds out he's been a fucking sex hound this whole time, right? Because she's bringing up the love stuff, and he's like,
just like, I don't
know about that, but I definitely know I want to
have sex,
right? Like, and he doesn't even notice
that she's pissed,
looking at him
like,
and realizing that that's what this has been this whole time, right?
Yep.
Like, that's how much of a sex hound he's been. He doesn't even see.
Yeah, because he feeds her some bullshit. He's like, well, if I say I love you, I want it to be like perfect and all this shit. It's like,
that's my problem, right?
It's the same argument she had for
about sex.
Yeah,
and he doesn't see the hypocrisy,
right?
He's like, it's okay for me to think that about saying I love you, but you to think that about sex.
Yeah, it's fucking outrageous.
But yours are words, And yes, it's still fucked up if you didn't mean it, but you're young and you don't really know what meaning that means.
Yep.
We all know what sex is, and whether you're young or old, it is the same thing and has the same consequences. So yes, she is right, you are wrong.
Very. You're the asshole,
Right?
motherfucker.
It's a pretty simple fucking conversation.
I hate that guy.
I do too.
I am so. He's not in the third one, is he?
I don't think so.
I don't think
I'm
he
pretty
is.
sure he's
Good.
gone.
Fuck that guy.
Um,
We only needed him in the second one for his house.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Now's game day. Now's game day with Oz. He's feeling great.
He's doing
good.
He's doing good. Dude
then
comes
feeling
out
regret immediately.
Dude
Right?
comes out of nowhere, checks him and shit.
Well, and as soon as that happens, he starts like reflect. Like you see him like he's just standing off on the side, kind of looking out at the
some
world.
sense knocked into him.
He's just like, this isn't where I want to be.
Then the coach starts giving the big speech and stuff. He's like, you got to do things
this
because
was
you
fucked
want
up because
to.
the speech was like, yeah.
You got to pursue that score.
It sounded
at all
like
costs.
bang the chick.
Yeah,
right?
it
Like,
did.
And that was what inspired him to go. And I was like, whoa, dude.
Hang on. He saw it the other way.
Yeah,
around.
I know
Yeah.
he did. I know. We hear his defense later, but
Oh,
right
like,
now,
but for a second, you're like, no, not you too, Oz. I don't want to not
I
like
wanted
you.
better from you.
Yeah, you've got the best arc so far.
As he's running away, we hear every one of his nicknames, right? Like, well, maybe not Nova,
Yeah,
but we hear
Stiffler.
Oz,
Striker,
Striker, Fuckface.
He runs the entire way too.
Stifler pulling out their pet name.
Yeah, their pet name for each other.
Oh, Fuckface.
Fuckface. He even says it
Can
kind
he
of
make
sad.
it in time? Of course he can.
Yeah,
What the fuck are
he
we
makes
even
it to the
doing here?
choir thing.
He makes it there. He's still wearing his jersey. I even was like, fucking Glee?
Yeah,
Because he's in his jersey. 'Cause there's an episode. But they, Glee at least went one step further and let him stay in the jersey. And this, they were like, oh, he steals somebody's clothes. Probably that dude.
That tall guy who's just like
Who thought he had the part? Yeah, it's probably him. Because
I hated his fuck. This was cheesy. It's like, oh, you left the game for us. He's like, no, I left the game for you. It's like, oh, okay.
Well,
It needed to happen, but I hate shit
everything
like that.
about that was cheesy though. Like his singing in any scene where it's not the whole group was horrible.
Yeah,
And it
where
was
he's singing by himself.
why are we supposed to believe he's good?
He's trying.
Yeah.
I don't think they never say if they won this competition or not. I don't think they do.
Yeah. But at the very least, his real friends,
show up. They're like, "Fuck yeah, buddy, woo, you rule." It's Jim and Kev. They show up, and then it cuts back over to Stiffler still at the field. He's like, "I don't think he's coming back."
and then we see Vicky and Jessica talking one more time. These two, their conversations are
Jess
always
is
crazy.
so over
right?
it at this point.
He's got a dick.
Yeah,
of course that's what he was thinking.
Yeah, exactly.
Like at this point, she finally realizes she helped the fuck face. Right?
She really
she realizes Kevin's not the guy I should have been helping.
Yeah,
you can see it. She's just like, fuck me.
Helped the wrong fucking guy. They would have been better off, but fuck. I'm so tired of you being indecisive about this. Just go do it.
Now, that was where I say, this is the only time that it at least makes sense. The first time we hear her give shit to fucking Vicky about the perfect sex was wrong. This time you're like, yeah, bitch, you need to hear it this time.
Yeah.
Because again, like I said, it's not perfect sex and it's not willy-nilly. It's somewhere in between. And she really isn't grasping that somewhere in between part.
No.
She needed to hear that.
Jess is just like, go, just do it. You're a woman,
something.
go try it. It's unspoken. She's like, it's not going to be anything like you think it's going to be.
Yeah, it's going to hurt.
Right.
Well, the fucked up part about this is it means that she's realized now that she's probably not, like, we hear later that she's not staying with him. She probably already realized it, and she still made him do.
Yeah, and she still made him say it.
It's the only problem I have with Vicky. Most of Vicky, I got no problem with. That one, I was like, bitch, that was fucked up.
That was fucked up because you knew.
Again,
you knew you were going to leave in the morning.
Feelings are feelings, and you want him to admit that he felt more than something.
So you can commit to this. But I get it.
Fucked up.
But
fucked up knowing you were having that conversation.
Yep.
We need to finish this. She tells Kevin in school,
"Yep, I'm ready now
to have sex." Yes, he says right now,
like in class, because I'm down. Oh, we can clear off the teacher's desk.
Prom. As if that's not going to cause massive performance anxiety for some fucking high school kid.
Totally fine.
Right? Like, hey, kid, you've been waiting for your whole life.
Now the biggest night of your entire high school
it's
career.
Already super important to you.
You better be good because she is going to be stressing about it, man.
Well, and you already know she has a hard time getting there.
Yeah, because you've been told you suck.
So everything about this is stressful.
Especially after that, where it's like, wow, I never really.
Now we get the montage of everybody finding their tuxes, right?
Poor Jimmy can't afford the nice one. The dude just points up at the like powder baby blue one.
I don't know.
I liked the powder blue one.
I don't know if that's what that was supposed to be. I feel like it was just like him being like, I kind of like the ruffles, and then the guy being like, we also have this one. And
dude, you like ruffles?
Yeah, and then him unironically being like, I like the powdered blue.
I thought it was like he's like, I don't have enough for this one.
I don't, because again, his parents have money.
That's true. You'd think they'd be like.
None of these kids look like the kind of kids that are running into the I can't financially pay for that.
Yeah, they didn't have what was it, a free lunch?
Yeah. So I was saying, I'm pretty sure he was just being like, unironically, I like the blue.
Dude, give me the powder blue Elvis suit. Fuck yeah.
Then we get to prom.
We get the one last awkward conversation between him and his dad before they go.
Yeah.
He's just like, hey, when you put on the corsage, I want you to be very careful.
Promise me.
Promise.
You're going to wear the corsage.
Did you feel like it took Jim too long to pick up on what his dad was trying to say?
Definitely.
Because he's like,
well, and that's his dad's problem. His dad is always just like, my kid's stupid.
My kid is dumb as fuck.
We see the prom. We see this band.
I love this band.
I love this band, but at the same time, this band made me very happy that we had a DJ.
at ours.
Because this band looks very fun.
Yeah.
But their music is not very
terrible.
Good. It is very limited to what I'm sure they can play.
The singer's trying, man. He's putting this goofy.
The show is great.
Flair into
the show
it.
Is
love
great.
it.
The fucking outfit and shit. I love the show. The musicality of it is maybe not there.
Aladdin and the Seven Genies, right? Like that's the name of the band.
But yeah. So now once they're here, we see Sherman's got the brunette again.
Yep. Oh,
there
she is.
We see the crowd. We got to address what we see. Sherman's with that brunette. Everybody's pissed again when they see it.
Yeah, they're like, God damn, man.
Jessica's walking around, bopping to her own tunes.
She had the good idea.
Yes,
She's brought her own headphones, man. That's what I should have fucking done.
We hear all the band camp lines still coming
from Michelle. And
dances were funner at band camp. Not more fun.
Not more fun. Funner. They were funner at band camp.
I bet they were.
Yeah, she's probably naked. Naked bonfire party. Woo!
Now's Kevin proving the asshole behavior again.
Yeah, because they have the huddle.
Yeah, and they start talking.
Status check, boys. How are we doing?
And they're all just like, fuck you, dude.
Like, dude, like my date is a band geek. He blew up the bathroom with shit, and I actually like my girlfriend, and I think we might have like a real chance at a relationship. If you need to get laid, dude, you don't need us to fucking do it.
Well, and again, though, that's not even been what's happened here.
I know.
Because nobody was helping anybody.
Nobody.
They keep randomly bringing that back up like it happened, and we've never seen that.
No, you've all been, if anything, kind of working against each other.
This
really
has been a competition.
Exactly.
This has not been a pact to
Who's
going to
get laid last?
But at least they finally do call him out on his fucking stupidity and how dumb this whole thing has been. And they're all like, I don't care anymore. Yeah, it's like, I don't care. At this point, I hate sex. And I will give you, that took balls to be a kid in high school and to yell that as loud as he did in a giant public forum.
At prom?
Balls.
For real. It's not that fucking important. I'm like, hey, finally, they figured it out. Sex isn't that goddamn important.
Then
Good for them.
And then the last thing we get is Finch looking at Kevin and being like, yeah, dude, at least I learned how to shit
in a bathroom.
Right?
Yeah.
Pulling out that guru behavior again one last time, right?
Just look at it this way, I learned how to shit in a public bathroom. So there's positives.
Now's when we see him talking to Jessica. She pulls out the flask.
Oh, yeah, this is super nice. She gives him the flask with the F on it because she felt bad for taking his money and his plan didn't fucking work.
He was like, you spent $200? No, bitch, I spent $50. I pocketed the other.
Yeah, I got these earrings for the rest of it.
And she said, no shot. Go away.
Because he tried to be all like, oh, these are really pretty and shit. She's like, you got no shot. I'm just thanking you or you know, alleviating my guilt at this point.
Then we cut to random fucking girl talking to the brunette. that came with
Sherman's
right?
girl, yeah.
And the girl's like, no, we just had such a great time that night, and we talked about everything. You know, we had one of those deep soul connecting kind of talks.
And Vicky's just like, oh, is that what you call it?
I don't even know if that's Vicky. I think that's a random blonde because you see her from a weird angle that I'm not positive it was supposed to be Tara Reid talking to her.
I don't know. Could have been. I'm pretty sure it was. But it doesn't matter because either way, she's just like, wait.
Yeah, well, again, I wasn't trying to say that to you.
Minute.
Yeah, I wasn't saying that to you because I was worried about it. I was just saying that I'm not sure, but I didn't think it was. In my notes, I didn't have it as her. I'm not trying to tell you you're fucking wrong. I'm just saying
Fuck
like,
you.
Yeah, I'm just saying like, I don't know. I'm saying like someone else tell us for sure.
I don't.
But the
remember.
angle, she seemed chubbier because this was a super skinny Tara Reid, and that girl seemed
fat. Tara.
Well, not fat, just like.
Tara
Again,
cousin.
the girl that she was sitting by seemed
Tanya
the same
Reid.
size as Tara Reid, and so that's why I was like, I don't know if that's Tara Reid.
I don't either.
Again, I just wanted to clarify because you thought I was trying to be like you're fucking, and I'm definitely not. I definitely thought that was.
It could
be.
It's her fat cousin Tanya Reid.
I was just wanted to make clear that I definitely, if it was,
they didn't do a good job of filming her.
I wanted to more say that I didn't take that in. If that's
it's on the
who it
cinematographer's problem, fucker.
Yeah. They didn't
framing.
They didn't do her any justice. If that was her,
if they made her look fat.
That's what I was
so
trying
pissed.
to get at. Yeah, that's all. That's what I was trying to get at. Yeah. So the either way though, the conversation between the two goes. That's not what he told everybody.
Nope. And she goes up on stage and tells everybody, "Oh,
Look,
sure.
I don't know what that guy fucking told you.
We did
but
not
he's
sleep
fucking
together.
lying. He's never had sex.
He told me one time he tried to hump a grapefruit, but it didn't work out very well." And he
cut
pisses.
funny look to Jason Biggs, right? We
Yeah.
should have had a weird camera cut to him.
Yeah, him being like,
Grapefruits are
grapefruit.
weird.
That's weird, man.
But we don't. We don't even get that joke. We should have.
We really should have.
But yeah. So then
And
she mentions the pissing.
Pisses himself when he gets
Cut to
nervous.
spotlight on him.
Yeah.
Spotlight catching
Carrie
him piss
style,
himself.
right?
Yeah, dude, like again,
Boom.
like if that kid shot up the school,
I wouldn't doubt it.
I wouldn't have been surprised.
It's a good thing Shermanator didn't have them guns. Right?
Now though, we finally leave here, head towards our post-prom party.
Yep,
Right?
it's party time. Because, Kev's outside being sad and the boys rallying him.
Yeah, but I don't
That's
even
kinda
like
the point.
that.
Yeah, it's like, no, fuck
Kevin
you.
doesn't need to hear
No.
anything. Fuck Kevin.
I
That's
don't
why,
care
okay,
that you're sad.
we do need to tell people about that.
Yeah.
You're right. I just didn't want to because I hate that guy.
Fuck him. It's like, oh, I'm outside and I'm all sad. All my friends yelled at me because I'm too obsessed with sex and I can't develop a real relationship with my girlfriend.
And basically, though, his friends are like, "You gotta fucking deal."
Yeah,
with
you need
this,
to grow
dude.
the fuck up and stop
Go
worrying
tell her
about
that.
it. Yeah, go tell her. Exactly. Now it's party time.
Well, we get one last line before though, and it was the one that you've already brought up. We were friends with Stiffler.
Oh, yes. Because like, why else? We're going to go have a cool party
Why
after
else have we
prom.
been
Why
friends?
else have we been friends with Stiffler this whole time,
What?
Finch? We've been friends with Stiffler?
I didn't know that.
I mean, maybe not you, Finch, but the rest of us were kind of friendly.
Yeah. So now we can definitely do this part fast, right? Like,
Yeah, because it's just the party.
well, and it's a lame party like before, right? Like
Yeah.
where it seems too adult for the group that we're seeing.
Yeah, it's not wild or anything. Everybody's just kind of hanging out.
As soon as we
drinking.
get there, Kevin and Vicky take the nicest room. He says,
immediately.
well, and he said it like it was going to be okay.
A hotel.
Right? Well, he said it like it
Yeah.
was okay too. Like, like he had made sure.
He arranged it with Stiffler. Like,
And
I
it's
have
like,
this
dude,
room reserved.
Oz
Make sure
is-
there's chocolates
well,
on the
again,
bed.
it's like Oz is friends with Stiffler, not like you wouldn't have been able to make that request to Stiffler. At no
No.
point in the movie have I seen you be close enough to Stiffler to make that request.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it.
Right? So that was weird.
Oz should be getting the special room. Your ass needs to go fuck on the dock.
But either way, they've got the special room.
They
Then we
have,
see
they have to kick Stifler's little brother out first. That was pretty funny.
what?
What? Fuckers? You're gonna fuck. I want to fuck.
Vicky at least laughed.
Yeah, she
didn't
did.
think it
She's
was
like,
she thought it was funny.
Little kid.
Yeah. Then we see as they're coming in this whole scene with Jim and Michelle,
Yeah,
right? Where she's like, "So you got dirty stories?
You got any
too?
dirty
I want to
stories or
hear
anything?"
those. Tell me about those.
She's-
So you got guy stories? The way she said that, he should have started to really feel
Something was up.
right. And he was like, "Well, I've got this one story," and tells her the story that the movie.
Yeah, the movie started with.
Well, not the movie started with the first party started.
Yeah,
with.
the first party. Stifler and the pale ale.
Yeah, and so we cut away from them. We cut to Oz and his girl
They're
out on the dock, having a beautiful moment. Again, we don't even
He's
need
being
to.
honest here. He's like, no, we had a pact and we're all virgins and
And
the whole thing. And she's like,
that's
that's not
great.
a great way to proposition
And
me.
it's great
Very
that he
nice.
mentions it. I approve.
Proof.
But at the same time,
Unnecessary.
we don't even need to be here because they
just
had already resolved their
bullshit.
story.
It was almost like they were trying to start more.
But then immediately didn't, and it was like, what?
Yeah, it's like, why even mention it then? He didn't need to do
stupid.
it. I appreciate the honesty, though.
It takes a while. We don't need to do all the jumping around. We'll just kind of hit where it wraps up with, right?
Yep.
So by the time everybody else finds a place, Finch ends up in the basement.
Yep. There's a sign on the door even. It's like, keep out. And he goes down there. There's a nice pool table. And, oh, God.
Stifler's mom.
Stifler's mom.
This shit's hot.
Stifler's mom has got it going on.
And then,
fits.
and she tells, like, they have this very flirty scene, right?
Oh,
Like,
dude, he's magically, as soon as he walked in, turned into James
Can I
Bond.
have a drink? The
kegs are upstairs.
Not that.
Not the
That's
stuff
for the
those
children.
cretins
Oh, yeah,
drink.
cretins. That's right. I want the real stuff.
Liquor, alcohol. I got a bottle of
Smooth,
18-year-old scotch. I believe I'll
Age
have
so much.
yeah,
Age
just how I like it.
Oh, so much.
Right?
So good. Next one that we'll deal with is we finally get inside with Jim and Michelle. They make it to the room there. Well, at first they're in the group.
Yeah, they're on the
outside,
group, and
in
we
the
get
couch.
the flute.
More
and the,
conversation. Well, before we get the flute though, we just get more of the mundane. And he's like, I don't care. When I was at band camp, I played Spin the Bottle. What the fuck?
Yeah,
And then she goes in this totally nonchalant,
right.
really fast, really crazy. This one time at band camp, I shoved a flute up my pussy, and you're like, what?
Wait, what? You
What did
did
I
what
see?
now? She's like,
She goes,
yeah, band camp is basically just sex ed. And as I promised in the beginning, I have a band camp flute story.
Hurry.
I will not name any names, but at one time at band camp, a guy put his thing in a flute and it fit. You know who you are.
we'll leave it at that. But so he finally realizes he needs to take this girl to a room.
Because she is all for it. She's like, we go to
Wait,
screw.
Well, then they get to the room, and it's so good because she admits, I know who you are.
Yep,
I've seen
saw
the video.
I saw the Nadia
You
thing.
need to wear 2 condoms so that way you don't go too soon.
Yep, it'll desensitize you. Don't do this.
And then when they start going at it, she hits him with the "Say my name, bitch."
Say my name, bitch. Michelle. Shit. Who do you think had more fun, Jim or Finch?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. It's a little bit of a toss-up.
But so then again, this is wrapping up everybody. We don't technically know what happens with Oz and Heather. We do. They had sex.
They had sex.
But he is the bigger person and doesn't
And
tell
doesn't
everybody.
brag about it the next
Right.
day. He's a total gentleman.
Then we have Kev and Vicky. They definitely
This
did
was
the deed.
awkward.
This was so awkward because when they wake up,
She immediately breaks up with him.
after forcing him to say "I love you" the night before,
Yep.
before they could do anything.
She,
I'm not even going to
it's
address
all
that. Let's
fucked
just
up.
move past that. That's so messed up. And if you guys don't agree,
But he kind of deserves
yeah,
it.
He does. I mean, I don't like him, so I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
Fuck him. I have mixed feelings on the whole situation.
Michelle abandoned Jim. He's into
He just
it.
wakes up. He's like, she used me.
Yeah,
I got used.
All right.
Awesome.
Finch definitely hooked up with
Because
Stifler's
Stiffler
mom
comes in and he's just
catches
like,
it.
Mom, hey,
Catches it.
Stiffler.
And then we end on everybody going to their little hot dog
Yeah, they went back to
restaurant.
the diner thing, right?
Uh,
Things are going to be different now after we've after we've had sex.
a little Third Eye Blind to
Yeah.
end out the movie with. I love
Dude,
that.
I love the whole
do.
fucking song list
Oh,
of
no,
this
yeah, the
movie is
soundtrack was great.
awesome.
Yeah, again, this is the moment where Oz won't admit it and they kind of act like he didn't. And it's like,
Yeah.
no, he did. You
No,
guys are
he's
just
just-
too dumb to realize he's the actual
He's the
bigger
only
person.
one of you that's going to have like a real relationship.
Yeah.
that might last for a while.
Kevin admits they broke up.
Yeah.
Finch is like, I don't know.
I
what's-
love older women.
Yeah, exactly.
They're so great. He totally follows the Ben Franklin
Yeah.
philosophy
Jim's
now.
like, I don't know what the life is. It's
Yeah.
about to be crazy. And literally, like, or no, Oz even said that, right? Like somebody was like, this next step is about to be really crazy. And they're like, after prom? He goes, after high school.
you
Or
idiot.
after having sex. Jim said,
Yeah.
after having sex?
It's like, no,
after high school, you idiot. Oz.
Oh, yeah.
Oz was the one that said that. The dumb one
The
is
dumb
the one
one.
that said that. But that's
he's not done by the end of the
yeah,
movie.
no,
He has
he's the only one that has an arc.
yeah, a complete arc. Only character.
Great movie. We're almost finished. You think it's finished. You think the diner's the end.
Yep.
They even zoom out on the hot dogs.
Yep,
So
they're
done,
laughing.
right?
Ha ha ha.
This is not a credits roll anything trick. This isn't because again, we're not in post fucking MCU yet.
yeah,
so
we don't
it's
have to wait till the end of the things. It's just.
But as soon as they fade away from the hot dog, they're instantly like, "Oh, you thought we were done?
thought we were done?
Here's a little bit more." And
Yep.
it's just Nadia
Online
Jen,
and
still talking.
she
long
likes
distance.
it when he dances,
And so
she
he's-
likes it.
He's still dancing for her. He stripping down and everything.
Stripping down everything.
She's cool with it.
his-
She's laughing.
His dad sees him in the door and stuff, and he's just like,
Well, no, at first, no. At first, he walks in and is kind of like worried. You see
Yeah.
him. He's like, "Ugh,
"Oh
again?
no, again!"
Again."
Then
he
he
looks
s-
at the blanket on the
she-
bed. And he's like,
Oh man! Then he notices Nadia on the screen. He's like,
Oh.
"Oh,
He walks in the hallway
okay."
and he does his dance.
He starts dancing, honey.
Go,
yeah,
go, Eugene Levy. This fucking shimmy shows that
yeah.
he
He
is
had
the
the
guy.
moves, man.
Right. And that's our movie, guys.
Great,
We love it.
movie. I love this fucking movie.
Um,
What'd you think of this?
I loved this. This is good. Too good.
Yeah, dude.
Dangerously good.
Oh my god, dude! If you drank,
Ciders are too dangerous. It's why I try not to drink them often.
because they're sweet and
Oh man,
you can just
Drink-
pound them down.
Well, and they got a little bit of dryness usually at the beginning.
Yeah,
But that your mouth gets used to that, and then you're just like
You just
kicking them
keep
back,
fucking going.
dude.
And 7%,
Yeah,
dude.
6.9, right? I mean, we'll round
Round
it
it
up.
up. I like
Uh,
round numbers.
It was definitely really good. We'll probably, I mean, we've opened the door now to maybe do more ciders. The problem here is, guys, this is definitely a suggestion time.
yeah,
If you know other ciders with names,
yeah. Names.
tell us. The problem
tell
is,
us.
ciders usually are just the name of the fruit.
Yep, it's just like hard apple,
Yeah.
green apple,
And so, like,
crisp
if you know
apple.
some with names, hit us up because we'll introduce
Yeah,
more.
we'll throw them in there because we did it.
All right.
Proof of concept.
All right. So, Bo, what are we doing next time?
Next time we're gonna be doing Sawstone Brewing. Here are our local boys.
One more time.
It's old and in the way.
Get that one in before we're up to 50, right? Like,
Right.
try to get him.
Get
in the
few
local
more of the
boys
local
before we
boys
take
one
our
more
break.
time before we take the break.
All right, guys. You know the drill.
All right, Judd,
You let us know what you think that one's for. I will definitely admit we've done a lot of like gimme ones for a while, right? Like pretty
This one
easy.
might be hard.
Pretty easy if you really know us and you really see the title or you think about it. This one, it's a little bit of a leap.
Yeah, a little bit hard.
It's not an obvious one for sure.
No, one more time. That's Old and in the Way from Sawstone Brewing Company.
Let us know what you think. All right, man. I think we're done.
Yeah, I put X-Lax in your beer. Enjoy that. Is that McDonald's or homemade?